Hello?
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 Hi.
Hi.
I'm another participant.
Me too. I'm just trying to figure out how to actually see.
There's probably a camera, or they'll switch it on when they start the meeting, is what I'm guessing. If you
Oh,
want to be on camera.
okay. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Well, while we're waiting for Thomas John, where do you guys all live?
Orlando?
Oh, Orlando. Okay.
Colorado.
Colorado. I'm in St. John, Indiana.
Ah,
Now, Gloria, is that big storm going to be coming through your way?
no, thank God. We're outside of the cone. Unfortunately, I think both of them are heading for New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Very sad.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to get hit all the time.
We got our share last time, but I'm afraid this is unusual that there's two in the Gulf at the same time. I think that hasn't happened since 1933.
Yeah.
And just like they're going to get slammed and then 48 hours get slammed again. It's just,
Wow, that's going to be horrible.
I know.
This has been one crazy year with everything.
Oh, yeah,
Understatement, right?
understatement. And California's on fire and
I know. I can't believe 500. That's just crazy. Those poor firemen.
yeah, and they're calling in firemen from Australia and Canada.
Well, that's good. Good God knows I need it.
Yeah, Australia had their share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to kind of check in. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you just put in chat if you can hear me? Okay, great. I know we had originally planned to, we had changed by the way, I have everybody on mute at this point. I'll be back in a couple of minutes with updates, but for right now, everybody's just on mute. And we will be starting shortly. Okay? I'm going to have a couple of announcements for you guys in a second. So we're going to get started with some announcements. What is happening is I'm still waiting to get my computer totally fixed. I had some issues with it yesterday, and so I'm still waiting to get it fixed. It should be ready in about 10 or 15 minutes. But what we're going to do is we're just going to start with some announcements, which I was going to be doing anyways. And then hopefully it will be all set. It's just sort of in, like, when you reformat it, it needs to kind of load all the programming on. So it's still loading that. So I figured I would come in on my phone and just kind of get you guys started. We're not going to start the readings until I'm back onto my laptop. But I thought that we could at least start going over some of because I always do a little introduction anyways. So I figured we will start that. So I think what we'll do is in about 5 or 10 minutes or something, we'll start with the announcements and the introduction, which I normally do that on every group call anyways. And then by the time we're done with that, this should be done reformatting and I can log on through there. I just don't want to start the readings on my phone because it's just not really high quality. So we might be officially starting the readings a little bit later, like maybe towards quarter of instead of at the 30-minute mark, but everybody will still have the same amount of time and everything. So if you need to grab a drink of water or you need to get a pen or pad or anything like that, now would be the time to probably go and do that so you won't be distracted when we start the call in about 15 or 20 minutes. And I'm going to come back on in about 5 minutes with just some announcements to kind of go over some stuff. Hey guys, I'm just letting you know that we're going to be starting in about 5 minutes with some announcements. We'll start with some announcements. I'm waiting for my computer to fully reformat. So once it's fully reformatted, which it seems like it's taking a little longer, it'll probably be about 10 minutes, then we'll start with the calls. But I'm going to start with the actual call, but I'm going to start with some announcements first, which I do anyways, just to kind of so everybody's on the same page with everything. And I'll start that in about 5 minutes. Also, one thing you can do right now, eliminate any noise that might be in your peripheral area. Um, you know, if you're around dogs that might bark, kids or people that might interrupt you, loud noises, go ahead and eliminate any of that now. Get yourself in a quiet place, because you are going to come off of mute, and that's going to be important for you to be off of mute, and we can't have noise in the background. So go ahead and just, that'll be very distracting for everybody. Even things like your phone silence, things you forget when you're, in your home, but I do need everybody to be in a really quiet place. Okay, guys, so it seems like what we can do right now is start with some announcements and get this call going. So, and hopefully by then, once the announcements are done, I can switch my over to my computer, because that should be done. It looks like it's like at 93%. And so then what we'll do is we can start the call. So it might be a little bit of transition of things and stuff, but I think we can get started for right now. So first off, I wanted to welcome everybody. I did want to let you know, just as one last reminder, it is really important that everybody's in a quiet place. So anything you can do to go ahead and get yourself in a quiet place would be really good. And that's going to be important. I'm going to go over the format of the call in a little bit, but just a couple of other announcements. This call is going to be recorded. That means that the video will be recorded and the sound is going to be recorded, okay? When the call actually starts, you'll see me on. It just right now I'm on my phone, so I figured I don't really need that on right now for the announcement. But when the readings start, you'll actually see me on and stuff. So, but this call is going to be fully recorded. What that means is probably Monday or Tuesday, Tracy is going to send it out to you guys. I would actually say give it until Wednesday morning. If you don't get it by Wednesday morning, feel free to follow up, but don't start sending multiple emails today and tomorrow asking where it is. Give them a couple of days, because I'm not sure when she's back in the office, but that should definitely get to you no later than Wednesday. If for some reason you don't get it by Wednesday, sometimes what happens is the link goes to the spam. So just send a quick follow-up email to info@mediumthomas.com, and she can resend it. Okay, so that's that. Now, I also did want to let you guys know there is a chat feature that we have on. That's on. The chat feature is really just for emergency purposes, or if you've got to follow up with something or something like that. We shouldn't really need the chat feature too much, but it is available if you need it, okay? I did want to also let you know too that that the video feature for yourself, I just like to be very thorough and explain everything. The video feature, some of you have it on, some of you have it off, some of you have called in. It really doesn't matter as far as your experience of a reading. I don't need you to have your video on. When we start the readings, I'm going to have my video on, okay? But you don't actually need to have your video on. That's really a personal preference if you want to have your video on or not. So you can just decide if you want to have your video on. It won't affect anything as far as me, but some people, you know, they want to have it on. They feel like it is more of a connecting thing or something. But like I said, I just want to be transparent and say it won't affect anything with me, but you keep it on if you want to, or keep it off, or you can turn it on at some point. I generally find it's a little bit easier if you do have your video on, not for the quality of the reading, but just to kind of keep track of everything, especially if people are kind of talking, you know, at the same time or things like that. That is usually, it usually is probably a little bit better to have on your video, but again, it's not important, and if you don't have it on, that's fine. For the recording, I just want to tell you guys, that is meant for a personal recording. That's meant for you guys to have a personal recording and a kind of to go back to or reference things. That's not meant to send out to a lot of people. That's not meant to, you know, post on your website or anything like that. The point of the recording is really to connect, and you know, sometimes on a reading, messages will come through for other people, like family members, so you can certainly share it with a family member, but I don't want it going, it's not for mass distribution. And the reason I say that is because we've had experiences in the past where people have gone and they've, you know, they go and send the, you know, recording to their intuitive development class or something that has 100 people in it, and then other people's readings are on there and they get annoyed by that. So really remember that this is a sacred experience, and I do not want you sending recordings, the recording to anybody, but you can definitely share it with somebody, or friends or things like that. That's totally fine. You can do that, but no mass distribution. I'm going to check how my laptop is doing, and then I'll be back with you guys in about a minute. Okay, so I've got a couple more announcements and then it looks like we'll be ready to get started. So what we're going to do is when we officially start, you'll see my video pop up and my voice will pop up and you'll see me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set an intention. And by an intention, that means that we're going to do basically a prayer. We're going to call in spirit and our loved ones. And so you'll participate in that with me. Hold on one second, guys, because I don't want, okay, sorry. Okay. So you'll actually participate in with that. And so I encourage you to be really relaxed and kind of do that with me. And it's really our symbol that we're connecting with the spirit world and we're ready to connect and hear what they have to say. Then we're going to start with the readings. What we're going to do with the readings, now some of you might have been on my group calls before. I don't know if some of you have participated in group calls before, which is great if you have. And we have a couple of different formats of the group calls. Some are more group-based readings, some are more one-on-one, depends what type of call you set up. So I just want to let you know for this call, everybody is going to get their own individual reading. We're going to go in a certain order, which I'll go over in a second, and you will get some time with me, okay? After that time, okay, you are going to be back on, you'll be taken off mute and you'll have your reading. And then we're going to go to the next person and do their reading. So it'll kind of be like that. It's almost going to be like having a mini private reading in a group setting. And the reason we do this is because the group is really important because it really does help to connect you spiritually with other people's information. And I know that sounds weird, but very often somebody else may be getting a reading and it could actually help you or connect with you or help you in some way. So don't just go on autopilot when somebody else is getting a reading. You should try to, as much as possible, really listen to every reading that's taking place. Because like I said, I'm going to go over a certain amount I'm going to go over the time of things. And so you'll actually know sort of if you're in the beginning, the middle, the end. But I still think that you'll get the best experience here if you listen to the whole reading and you listen to the whole experience of things and you listen to everybody's reading and you really pay attention to that. So again, think of the format as being, one person will go, the next person will go, the next person will go. But really listen to all those messages because there can be parallel messages or things like that. I'm also going to say too, I didn't really say this before, but I'm also going to say too, if there's something that you super strongly connect with, you could even mention that in chat. I don't want to get too involved with people taking themselves off and on of mute during other people's readings because that's very disruptive. But if you relate to something in a big way, you could put in chat, and what we'll do is my assistant Anastasia is actually on listening. So she's actually going to be sort of moderating like the time. She's going to make sure that I'm going to the next person and everybody's getting the same amount of time, things like that. So if she sees something in the chat, like if like let's say I'm reading somebody and I say something to them and they don't understand it and we kind of go on to the next person, but maybe you're on mute and you understand it. If you want to go in the chat and mention that, you can. I can't promise that we're going to go back to every single thing like that, but you should certainly put it in chat and maybe we could, we can cover some of that. But as much as possible, we're really going to try to focus on the one-on-one readings. Again, with the understanding that as these messages are coming through, they could be for you too, inspiration. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more meaningful to get your own reading, but I really do feel like this does happen. I know that it happens. It's a spiritual phenomenon that happens where one reading can really help multiple people. So I just want you to do that. And honestly, if you really pay attention and give yourself that time to do that, you'll actually feel a lot more, you'll feel like you get a lot more out of the call rather than just your own, reading. Okay. So I'm actually going to get this computer thing set up, and then I think you'll see me on in about 5 minutes. So give me about 5 minutes. Then we might have a couple of other quick things, and then we're going to just kind of dive right in. So if you need to grab a glass of water, snack at about 5 minutes before we start the actual call. So go ahead and do that now, because then we're going to dive. I wanted to let you guys know that when I bring you up for your private reading, you'll have about 10 to 15 minutes with me. You'll probably have time for 2 questions or 2 topics, maybe 3. So just go ahead, and you might want to even think about what you're going to ask about. So you can ask psychic or mediumship questions, just to let you guys know that. But you'll have about time for definitely 2 topics, maybe 3. I do want to let you guys know that, like I said, the readings can be psychic or medium. Medium is really more hearing from a loved one in spirit. I want to hear from my mom. I want to hear from my grandmother. I want to hear from my sister. That would be more that. Psychic is going to be more topics about your life that you need help or guidance with. If you want to ask about things like romance or, what do my angels have to say about my career path, that would be more psychic in nature. So you can do both or whatever you want to do. Okay, we are about ready to start. So I was just waiting to this thing, it is totally stopped. It's totally reset. It's all set. I'm back onto my laptop. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But yesterday what happened is I somehow got a virus on my computer. And so I had to go and immediately get it totally reformatted. I don't really know how that happened. I've never had that type of experience in my life before. So it was a very weird situation. It didn't affect anything with my business or anything, but it was just one of those weird, malware things. So it was really making my computer very slow. So everything was fine, but I had to reformat my whole thing. And I could only get the person to come and help me about an hour ago. So it took about an hour for him to sit here and reformat it. So that's what this whole delay was about. Okay, so it looks like it's all set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch devices and then you'll see me on. Give me about 3 or 4 minutes and then we're basically going to start. Okay. Okay, so you guys should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me on this now? Okay, perfect. Sounds good. So now I'm back onto my laptop. Okay, and you'll see me in about a minute. So like I said, we're going to get started really right now. We're going to start with our intention. So, and I'm going to go over the order just so you know. We are going to do, like I said, everybody's going to get their own time. It's just your own time to add, like I said, we'll kind of pull somebody up and I'm going to tell you the order that we're going to go in. And obviously, since we're starting almost an hour and 20 minutes late, we're going to, from the initial pushback and now this other thing. That's why, by the way, I pushed it back today because I knew that I thought it would be done sooner though. So, okay. So anyways, what I'm going to do is we're going to go over the order that people are going to go in. So that way you kind of know really where you're going to be on the call. But I would really, really, really advise you to absorb everything that comes through in this call and really, really tune in and listen to everything. Because the more you do that and the more present you are with the information and the more you really are listening to what it is that's coming through. So for example, if I'm reading, let's say, I see somebody on here listed, Sherry Ann, and let's say I'm reading her and she's receiving divine guidance from her angels about her career path. But you feel like, wow, that really kind of resonated with me and really helped me with the decision that I needed. Spirit works that way, okay? And sometimes it's funny because people will have a hard time understanding that that is how spirit works, but that's really the whole point of doing these group settings, is so that not only do you get your own reading, you also get readings, guidance through other people's readings. So again, if you connect with something in the chat, if you connect with something in somebody's reading, go ahead and mention that in chat. Again, I can't promise that we're going to sit here and go over that every single time that happens, but I'd like to acknowledge that. And, you know, there might be an additional message or something. So go ahead and that will be your way to participate in the chat. If you're phoning in, it will be hard for you to do that. But if you're in the chat, you can do it. I think you can actually do it from your phone too, just a little bit more cumbersome. So that's basically what we're going to do. And also, I just want to explain, remember, no medium or psychic can guarantee that a person's going to come through. We can't make people come through. We can't force people to come through. So just take it as an understanding that whoever's supposed to come through is going to come through. I encourage you to ask about who you want to hear from. You want to hear from your mom, your daughter, your sister, you can go ahead and let me know that. I don't need any other information, but if there's somebody you want to hear from, go ahead and put that forward. Go ahead and ask me about that. That can be one of your questions. But again, we can't control what comes through, and we have to discern and interpret everything. So it's, you know, just, you know, we have that we're facing too. So, okay, so we're going to get started. Oh, by the way, this is the order that we're going to go in. We're going to do Joanne. And then I'm sorry, it looks like somebody, I don't have the name, but it looks like somebody who signed up under the email AYUSH_O. You'll be the second person. The third person will be Debbie Epperson. The fourth person will be Sherry Ann. Fifth person would be Ada. Sixth person will be Esther. Seventh person will be Gloria. Eighth person will be Julie. Ninth person will be Jerry. So that's the order that we're going to go in. And like I said, when you come up, you'll have a little time with me, and then you can ask a couple questions, things like that. Okay, so let's get ready to connect with spirit. Let's have everybody go ahead and take a nice deep breath and go ahead and close your eyes. And go ahead and bring yourself to a nice, peaceful place. Take a deep breath in and out. And as you're in this peaceful place, and I truly want you to kind of visualize yourself, put yourself in a peaceful mindset. go ahead and call in your spirit guides, your spirit angels, your loved ones, anybody that you're wanting to hear from. Go ahead and call them forward. Take a deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, have a feeling of gratitude, a moment of gratitude. And you can go ahead and come back here to the room. Okay. So, all right, so we're going to get started. Sorry, with all that craziness, I did not have time to do my hair. It was funny, God bless him, but the guy, he didn't speak any English. So we were trying to communicate and he had no idea. He was great he came over to help with my computer, but we couldn't communicate whatsoever. I was trying to ask him how much time it would take. I was even trying to use the Google Translate thing, you know how you can type in something and translate it, but we didn't understand each other. I didn't understand what he was telling me. So that's why I was trying to ask him how long is this going to take. So anyways, we're going to get started. So from this point forward, I'm inviting in spirit to connect with us, okay? And I'm asking spirit to be here. So everything that comes really out of my mouth at this point is a message. So really think of things that way, okay? We're going to get started. Our first person is Joanne, who, am I losing my mind or I don't see a Joanne? Oh, that's, okay, I'm so sorry. Joanne, you're the person in the pink? Okay. So I'm going to unmute you. Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
So you'll be our first reading. So what do you want to hear about, or what would you like to focus on, or do you have a couple things you want to hear about?
I lost my mom in March during COVID.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry.
I haven't been able to connect or see her body, so.
Okay. All right, so maybe something from her, if she was to come through, that would be maybe helpful for you?
Yes.
Okay. And then do you have anything else that you'd want to ask about or bring up for me?
I maybe a psychic in terms of my career path.
Okay. So I did want to just say to you when I'm connecting with you first, it feels like I'm getting, I know I'm feeling like I'm getting your father and your mother. Your father and your mother. So I feel like dad is trying to communicate that he was there to greet your mom. Did he pass several years ago?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I don't, yeah, just when I'm connecting, I don't know what their relationship was like here, but I certainly feel in the spirit world that they have connected with each other. And, people do reconnect on the other side. People do have, people do connect on the other side, and that's great. And so my sense is that these two people are together and stuff, okay? I get very much, if I can say this, but it feels like with your mom, there was a lot of, I feel a very complicated energy with her health. And I see her going through health issues. So was she having a lot of health issues leading up to her passing? Was she having like a lot of ongoing health problems?
Yes.
Okay. Because I didn't get the feeling that this was just like a sudden thing, like, oh, she just passed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I felt like this was like it felt like a pretty like, I don't know. That's what I felt though. I felt like it was kind of a drawn out thing.
Yes.
And I felt like she was having a lot of, pretty much having a lot of health problems. So you understand that? That makes
Yes.
sense. Okay. When I'm seeing your mom, she is giving me the feeling when I see her energy, I feel like she was a very traditional type of woman. I feel like both your mom and dad really love being parents. You know, I feel like being a parent was, and especially I'm connecting this with your mom. But I see your mom as somebody, this is what I'm seeing with her. I feel like she had a very difficult life in the early part of her life. So I feel like she faced a lot of challenges when she was growing up. But she's telling me that she was a very resilient, and she was able to overcome this and things like this. I see her as a thin. Now, just remember with physical description, right? It doesn't have to be how they were the day they died. In fact, frequently it's not. So for example, I know like when my dad has come through mediums, he comes through how he was when he was like 20 or 30 years old, even though he died when he was almost 70. But he does that because I think he was happier then. So sometimes it just depends how they want to come through. And it doesn't have to be they were happier then, but that's one example. But they might just choose how they want. I mean, I don't know. It just depends. Sometimes they'll come through, how they look in recent pictures that you've looked at of them. But I do see your mom. So I'm actually getting a clairvoyant image of her in my mind. And I see her with dark hair, very put together woman as I'm seeing her. Like I said, I felt like, to me, she emanates kind of like a grace. I feel like she seems to me like very ladylike. That's how I'm feeling her. And can I ask you also, because you gave me a feeling about this, she was at your wedding, correct?
Yes.
Did she attend your wedding? Okay. Yeah, and also I just want to tell you, honey, there's a dog here too. So it's like, both, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, did she have a dog? Okay.
Yeah, she
Did she,
had a dog.
yeah. Oh, she had a dog, but no, actually, no. They're telling me this is your dog.
Yeah, I lost a dog
This
in
is your
May.
dog.
I lost a dog in May.
You lost it. Yeah. So this is probably, is it a small, I'm not really good with like dog breeds, but it's a smaller dog?
Uh,
Small dog?
I've had several dogs that have been
Okay.
passed.
Then I don't know if it's the one that you just lost, but
Yeah.
I just want to say there is a smaller dog that's here. And then there's also a white dog. Do you know why I would be seeing like a white dog?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to tell you also, as I'm connecting here too, it feels like your mom is giving me the feeling that she would be very, very proud of you. I feel like she's giving me the feeling that that's just what's kind of emanating from her. I feel like she's very, very proud of you. I feel like she's telling me that you have had many, many accomplishments that even kind of surpassed maybe, I don't want to say what she expected of you, but I just feel like she's saying that you definitely have had many accomplishments, and I feel like she's very proud of you. I got a feeling that she is very, very proud of you in terms of how you carry yourself, and and your accomplishments and things like that. Maybe we'll get into a little bit more with that and stuff. I did want to say also too, as I'm connecting, who experienced the great amount of cognitive decline at the end? Who would I be picking up on that it feels like they had like their mind? I don't really know what it is, but I feel like they um, like almost dementia, Alzheimer's. Is that something you understand?
Yes. Yes.
And I want to also ask you too, as I'm connecting with your mom, she's talking about you starting to go through her things and go through her stuff. starting to like organize her stuff and go, I don't know, are you starting to go through some of her stuff?
I'm trying to the best I can because it's overseas.
Okay. So, I want to say also just what I'm feeling about this. Um, it is important for me to tell you that nobody goes to spirit. Hold on a second. Oh, do you know anybody with an L name?
Um, I do, but I can't.
And you don't know anybody, you don't know anybody yeah, I'm seeing an L. I keep seeing an L.
I mean, I know several people with an L.
Do you know a Maria?
That's my mom.
Okay. I'm hearing Maria. I'm definitely hearing Maria because I keep hearing Maria. So that's your mom. I don't know who the L person is, but you know what? It's somebody in spirit with her. So I don't know who that is. But there's somebody there's a Maria, who's your mom. There's an L, there's an A person, and there's a J person. I think the J is your dad. Is your
Yes.
dad J? Yeah.
Yes.
J is your dad. The other two people are L and A, but I don't know who they are. But they're kind of like behind your parents. So I would see them as maybe like, I don't know if they're really like main significant people, but they are, feels like loved ones that they would be with. Your mom's telling me that her symbol to you is going to be the butterfly. So you'll probably, now I don't know if that's something, so I always tell people, it's always like there's exceptions to every rule. Most of the time you get a lot of signs the first year that somebody passes. But that's not all the time. And some people are really, really strong sign givers their whole life, in spirit, their whole, the whole time, it just really depends on the personal nature of the relationship that you had with them. It depends on their energy, things like that. But your mom is telling me that she knows that you are eager to want to connect with her and you're eager to kind of hear where she's at with things and feel her around more. So she's given me the feeling, like I said, that you are going to connect with her. You will feel her. She is going to be around you. She's a pretty, I feel like, a strong energy. Now, with your career, I'm sensing success, and I'm also, oh, by the way, also, who did so your mom did know your husband, right?
Yes.
For some reason, I mean, this is what's coming through. She's giving me the feeling of wanting to acknowledge him.
Okay.
And she is giving me the feeling that he has been very instrumental in helping you get through this difficult time. I also do want to say, we don't need to go too specific into this, but there is a child that is on the other side, that's passed on the other side. And they are, yeah, this is on the other side, that never came into the physical world. Okay. So so yes, I don't know if that would be your child. I don't know if that's your mom, but it almost feels like what it feels like is a miscarriage, or again, a child that did not come into the physical world. That's what I'm feeling. And so that's that. I'm not getting more about it, so I can't really elaborate more. I wish I could, but that's all they're giving me with that. So I don't know how that's connected, but I did feel that came through too. With your job, I just want to ask you, it feels like you are in charge of a lot of people. You have a lot of things going on. I feel like there's does that make sense to you, that you are you like in charge of a team or something?
Yes.
Okay. So as far as your job, this is what I want to say, because you did ask about, maybe you want to hear about your job. There's not really any big changes coming up, and I feel like the message from Spirit is more like
you're in a calmness period. So I'm not foreseeing right now that there's any strong message. And are you in healthcare?
Yes.
So, yeah. So it seems like basically, it seems like basically you're on a good path. Now, they're saying that next year, next year, because they are saying 6 to 12 months, so that would be next year. Next year, there may be some sort of opportunity for you to move into a different direction. But it wouldn't be really anything that there's a lot of guidance about right now, because they're not really saying that anything is happening with it right now. But it could be, in the future, there could be something with that. But like I said, I don't really, it would be more like next year, because they're just not really making me feel like there's a lot of energy with that, okay? So I think really now is a good time to kind of focus on what's in front of you. Looks like Spirit is saying, I don't know, they said healthcare, which I don't know to what degree you're in healthcare, but they did say you're going to be having some difficult decisions coming up. So, maybe your job is just going to be kind of like a lot going on, I would imagine, in the current environment, maybe. So, okay, so Anastasia is letting me know that I need to go to my next person. So I'm going to thank you, Joanne. Thank you very much. And like I said, that chat feature is open. If you feel that you want to ask something, or something else comes through for somebody else and you're like, oh, that's interesting, that kind of resonates for me. I did want to say also, whenever we get to this person, it could be my next person, it could be my last person, it could be my fourth person, I don't know. But when we get to it, there is a Father Bill that wants to come through. So if anybody connects to that, you can either let me know in chat now, or when I get to your reading, you can just address that with me too. Okay, so we're going to go to our next person. Thank you. And our next person. Okay, so we're unmuting them. Yeah, we've got you. You got to unmute yourself, sweetheart.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What is your first name?
My first name is Atkan Zaya.
Okay, great. And so what can I help you with, or what do you want to know about, or things?
My big question is, I want to ask about my ancestors, the spirits from, I want to ask, should I become a family shaman or not?
Okay. So great question. So your first question is, you want to hear anything from any ancestors. And then you also want to know if you should go down the path of being a shaman. Is that what you were saying?
That's just one question. Should I become a shaman? So who's
Okay.
gonna answer? I don't know. So should I become a shaman or not?
Okay, so if you should become a shaman, and okay, and then anything from your ancestors, maybe any guidance. Do you have anything else you want to ask about?
Also, I want to ask about my career.
Okay. Now, when I just connect to you right now, first off, I did want to tell you, when you asked about becoming a shaman, the spirit world, it's interesting how they bring through messages, because it doesn't always they don't always communicate in like a linear fashion. So, so when you said about being a shaman, okay, when you were saying about being a shaman, they were telling me that you already are a shaman. They said that's what Spirit said. So you asked that question, and what they said is you actually already are a shaman. And I feel like what they mean by that is you already have some, you already have some energy with that. May I ask you, have you done any training about this already? Have you already done any shamanic training or anything? Have you done anything like that at all?
A couple years ago, started with one teacher,
Mhm.
one mentor,
Mhm.
but I canceled it.
That was good you canceled that, because whoever that was, when you started talking about them, I got a very negative energy actually. So that probably would have been somebody that wouldn't be a good match for you. I don't know if I'm getting something negative about them. I don't know if I'm getting something negative about, I don't know to what degree negative, but I got this immediately as you started to say, I got like a sinking feeling with this person, and I felt a lot of pressure in my chest. One of the things Spirit is telling me is that you have actually a lot of psychic and also intuitive abilities too. So one of the things that they're telling me is that you, which we all to an extent do. I always tell people, there's nothing special about having psychic abilities, because we all have psychic abilities. We all have abilities to connect to the spirit world and stuff. So I always, I kind of explain that to people and stuff. So as far as, as far as that goes, as far as that goes, you have those you definitely have that within you and stuff like that. The other thing they're showing me that they kind of keep bringing up and stuff like this is that you have guides and spirit guides that I think that I sense are actually ancient, that go back many, many, many generations. Why are they talking about medical training with you, or biological training, or medical type training, or is that anything that you have done? Did you go to medical school?
No,
Huh. Do you have any sort of medical type of training at all?
no,
What'd you say?
no.
Okay. Yeah, just when you guys are getting readings, also give me strong yeses or strong nos. Like, that doesn't I can't really, I need yes, no. So that's interesting, huh? They're showing me about medical stuff. What do you do for work now?
Work, I do manicurist, nail technician.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if that's weird, because they definitely were showing me like medical stuff, which I don't think that I would be seeing that for, I don't think I would be seeing that for that, but that's okay. Let me just, I don't know what that means. I was seeing like biology charts and things like that. So I was like, okay. Now, I want to tell you also, because they're bringing this up to me. I want to leave your question for a second, but they're talking about this. I don't feel like this is right now, but have you thought about possibly relocating from where you live? Like, have you, I don't know if it's, I'm not really getting from Spirit that it's like right now, but is that something that you've ever thought about, that you would be open to doing that?
I moved to US,
Huh?
a different country.
Right, but I'm saying within where you are now, have you ever thought of leaving and maybe going to a different part of the country? Have you? This would be more like, have you thought about moving at all?
No,
Okay. Are you on the West Coast right now? Like, do you, of the United States? Are you on the West Coast? Okay.
yes.
Yeah, because for some reason, this is what I'm feeling, that I see there being an energy pull where you start, I don't know if it's definitely a move, but I see you starting to spend time in like another area. And I feel like I'm seeing that you're gonna, I'm getting the feeling that you're gonna move. Now, I don't see actually the reason for your move. So I'm not seeing like why you would be moving, or, what would be the point of you moving, but I got a strong feeling about you moving. I felt like this is somehow connected to some of the things that you were asking about. So the other thing is I got an image of a past life of yours. So not a lifetime now, but I got a, not your current lifetime, but I got an image of a past life. And when I was focusing on this past life, what I was seeing is that you were actually you were very much a healer in other lifetimes. So I feel like they're telling me, now as you're talking about things, you're talking about, you're kind of explaining that you feel very drawn to, the shaman stuff. And one of the things that they're telling me is that one of the things that they're bringing up and stuff is that this is something, I feel like one of the reasons why you feel very connected to it is because you've done it in other lifetimes. You've actually, so there's been other lifetimes where you were a healer, they're also telling me, have you had some issues with financial stuff, like your financial side of things? Is that not going as well right now for you as you would like it to? Or I don't know, are you having financial like setbacks or anything like that?
No.
Are you struggling a little bit with money? Not struggling, but like, are you wanting to generate more money?
Right now, my husband supports families.
Okay. So what is his first name?
My husband's first name is Ni.
Okay. Now, there's also a lady that I'm seeing. There's actually two people that are standing with you that are guides for you. So there's two separate people that I'm seeing, okay? One person, actually, so it's interesting. One person is, so actually, I'm just going to go back to one thing. Let me tell you about the guides in 1 second, but let me actually go back to the shaman thing. Like I said, I'm going to go back to my initial feeling, which is that they were telling me when you asked that question, they gave me the feeling that you already are a shaman. And so they were telling me that you already, now you might not be doing that technically yet. You know what I'm saying? You might not be, you might not be right now pursuing that right now, but they're telling me that for all intents and purposes, you are a shaman. So basically what I feel like what they're telling me, I'm getting more of the message now. You don't need like to, if you wanted to do some sort of training or become a shaman or go to a school or things like that. I always tell people, like, for example, with people that come to me that want to become mediums, a lot of times, okay, nobody needs to take a class to become a medium. Mediums, that is something that's within your soul. It's part of your energy. Now, a class or training or something like that could bring something out of you. So what I want to say is, being a shaman is what's in your soul. Taking a workshop or a class or anything like that, that's not going to make you a shaman. All it's going to do is bring out the energy that's already within you. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to tell you. The other thing is you did have past lives. I'm going back several lifetimes. I'm going back hundreds and hundreds of years ago. But you did have past lives where you did have past lives where you were hurt for your gifts, where people harmed you for your gifts, where you were persecuted for your abilities and your gifts. So there may be a fear within you that maybe might be holding you back a little bit. There might be something from this other lifetime that is kind of maybe holding you back a little bit, or making you feel like, you can't, you know, something like that. So that's something that Spirit is saying that you're going to need to kind of work on clearing that a little bit. So you may have to kind of work on that a little bit. I just want to ask you this again, because they keep telling me this. So you were saying that, just to kind of go, it's weird because they brought it up a second time. So you said you do live on the West Coast in the United States, but you guys are not thinking about moving and all. That's not anything that you're planning on doing?
Sometimes we think maybe one day we can change our house.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's interesting because I actually saw you, for some reason, I actually saw you moving to like a whole different area or something. Let me tell you about oh, by the way, are you in I want to just ask you, are you near the water, or sort of like, are you on the water?
We near ocean.
Oh, you're near ocean, like you have to drive to it, but you're near the ocean. Okay, yeah, because this place that I was seeing, I saw like ocean or something. So yeah, maybe that's something in the future that I'm not sure. I did want to let you know, just to kind of go back to this. So you do have two energies that I'm feeling around you. So when I'm doing a reading, spirit guides come through, loved ones come through, ancestors come through. There's actually three that I'm feeling. So one energy that I'm feeling is actually not a relative of yours, but is actually a guide of yours. So we have and everybody can kind of learn a little bit from this. So we have about 50 to 100 guides. All of our guides kind of are helping us, and kind of they have different missions and jobs. So you have three guides that are with you right now, but you probably have many more. So one guide that I'm seeing is a spirit guide that is not a guide that you ever actually spent time with. It is a guide that would be more like it's not like an ancestor, okay? It's your healing guide. And this guide, I feel, it comes from some sort of Native American type of path of things. So you may, so there's a connection with this guide, I feel very strongly. And they are showing me also with this guide that I'm feeling, that they keep bringing this up and stuff like this, but this guide also, because I feel this very strongly, this guide is wanting to connect with you more. So this guide is actually wanting to spend more time with you, wants you to be more connected here, wants you to be more. Then there's another person that I'm seeing around you. I don't know if this feels like a relative, but I'm not sure of the relationship. But I see a male energy that I'm feeling with a heart issue. So I feel there's a male coming through that had some sort of heart problem. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I don't know if it's heart, like collapsed and died. I don't know if it's cardiology, but I see some sort of heart type of issue. That's what I'm seeing. And then there's another thing that I'm seeing where there's an older lady that's coming through, who actually I believe is one of your great grandmothers, but I'm not really that you ever really knew her. But she is your great grandmother, and she's telling me, but I don't know which side. I don't know if it's your mother's father's side. I don't know which great grandmother, because you probably have multiple great grandmothers. But there's a great grandmother that I'm seeing. So I don't know if you knew her, but what I'm seeing is she did a lot of cooking. She was like into that type of stuff, being in the kitchen. I felt like she was like a homemaker. But she's actually telling me that in where she lived, she had healing abilities. She had psychic abilities. She had things where now, I don't know if it was really talked about, but she did have that and stuff. So I think the point of her coming through is she's letting me know that she's letting me know that she's just bringing this up, that this comes within your family and stuff. So I think the takeaway of things is that you are very gifted with this shamanic intuitive healing stuff, but there's a little bit of fear energy that is blocking you. So if you can kind of push forward through that a little bit more, that will kind of bring you to the next level with some of the, you know, healing and stuff that you've got to do and stuff. So, and I think it'll bring that side of you out more. So, okay, great. Anastasia's letting me know we got to go to the next person. So we're going to leave you. Thank you. And we're actually going to go to Debbie. Let's see here. We got a question in the chat. I'm not sure where I'm in the order. Okay, so let me pull that up. Yeah, this is Jewel. Hold on one second, Jewel. We're going to find out where you are. And our last call, a person too who just went, if there's anything that you want to go back to or ask me about, Zaya, you can put that in chat too if there's anything you want to clarify, because I know we kind of left you quickly, but we got to go on to the next person. We're just trying to be respectful of everybody's time, especially since we started late, which I know. You're towards the end. You're the second to last person. Thank you. Joanne, you, also this is Julie. Okay, you signed it up under Esther, but that's totally fine. That'll be for Julie then. You're sixth. Let's go to Andrew. This is Joanne. We have been planning to move right next to water. I definitely see you doing that, Joey. Is that within your state? Can you just let me know in chat? Is it like the water, but in your state? Just put yes or no if it's in your state. Okay. I live by the water now. But would you be planning to move? Oh, you plan to move out of state. Okay. Boy, I'm not getting a strong feeling of where you're going, but I feel like you are going to move. But they're not showing me really where. Let's maybe come back to that. Maybe we'll get maybe some more stuff will come in about that. Okay, great. So we're going to go on to our next person. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna clear the energy here 1 second. I like to do that at least every other reading. So hold on 1 second. It just may sage. Okay, we're going to get started with our next person, which is Debbie. Debbie?
That's me.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
What can I
I'm doing.
Yeah, what can I do for you, honey?
Okay, well, a couple things. I didn't know how to make the chat work, or I would have typed in, but 4 weeks ago, my father passed away. His name was Bill, and you mentioned somebody named Bill.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, and actually I was gonna, it's funny you say that, I was gonna clarify. I knew it was somebody's dad, so that I was gonna say, I was
Right. But the other part of that is, when you were speaking with the last person, you also mentioned a man with a heart issue that had a heart attack, collapsed, and died. That very well was my husband 8 weeks ago.
Okay, so, and that
That was
could,
an odd coincidence.
yep. Well, there's sometimes is double meaning for things. And who's Tom?
That's my husband.
Okay. All right. So he's definitely present, I feel. Your dad hasn't quite come in yet, but I feel like he'll be here. But I'm hearing Tom. So is it more just checking in with these people and seeing what's going on?
Pretty much. Just, yeah, just, it was sudden, so we didn't have any communication, and you just want to know that they're all right, that they're somewhere good, or,
Now, these people I'm feeling with these people that I got a feeling that they knew each other, or they feels like they were close to one another.
they knew each
So,
other.
were they? Okay. And I think also too, I wanted to ask you too, who's got somebody's coming through with, also with military stuff. So is
That's
there
Tom.
somebody? Okay.
Tom,
And
retired officer.
okay, got you. And I want to ask you too, because I'm feeling this he's giving me the feeling that this is something that was important to him, or this was something that was that important to him about the military stuff?
Completely.
Okay, because I feel that's the way he's bringing that through to me. I'm also getting a feeling, I'm actually not actually getting a feeling, I'm actually seeing an outdoor house. Well, sorry, I shouldn't explain it. So what I want to say, it's not an outdoor house, a gazebo. That's what I wanted to say. So is there a reason why I would be seeing a gazebo? And I also see a black dog.
Yes, we have a black dog. That's Cosmo.
Okay.
The gazebo, I don't know.
Okay. And then I also want to ask you too, did anybody actually, like, where you got a special hospital bed, or you brought in a special hospital bed, or something where does that make sense?
We had gotten that for my dad about 8 weeks before he passed.
Okay. And so you put him into, you allowed him to kind of, what was that? So he could stay at home or something?
No, my parents were already in assisted living, but then at that point, he had dementia for 3 years. He had to go into a hospice situation. He could no longer just be up or even in a wheelchair. So at that point, we got the special bed.
Okay. I'm also seeing Michigan, and I'm also getting something about somebody having a serious drinking problem, and drinking issues, and drinking problems that pass from drinking. Does that make sense to you?
Michigan, yeah, my whole family's from Michigan, and my grandmother in Michigan was an alcoholic, but I don't. She was a diabetic too, so I don't know that was actually what actually killed her. But that's quite a while ago already.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be actually how she
right.
died.
Yeah, that would have been my.
It was a big part of her.
Yeah.
That's. And you're saying that she lived in Michigan?
Oh yeah.
Did she live in Michigan? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Most of my family did.
I also want to ask. Okay, got you. I also want to ask you too, as I'm connecting here. I'm seeing your husband keeps showing me something with boats and something, I don't know what this is, but did you guys spend time on boats, or I keep seeing this, and also who's the iron worker, or who's the steel worker?
That was my dad, Bill. My dad was a retired iron worker, 35 years. Yeah.
Okay. And also, I want to ask you this too. I feel like you're
I think you just cut out.
What'd you say?
I think you just cut out. I didn't hear that. It's
Oh, I'm
just
sorry.
frozen.
I don't know. Okay. What I was saying is can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But what I wanted to say is, and can I ask you, your father is showing me tools of his, or he keeps showing me his tools. And did he have a lot of tools?
When he was younger and still had his own home, he had some tools.
Okay.
Not for years though.
Okay, that makes sense. And I want to also ask you too, because I'm feeling this. Is there anything where I'm seeing, because I keep feeling this, is there anything where I'm feeling with your, because I feel this with your husband, but I guess he's bringing this through. Was he sometimes kind of hard on you, or could he be sort of difficult to deal with, or something like that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Your husband kind of be like that,
Oh sure.
like sort of, yeah, challenging to deal with. Okay. And I
Yeah.
want to ask you also, because I keep seeing this, have you been going through a lot of your dad's, I don't even know really what it is, but have you been going through any of your dad's, almost like his military paperwork or his war paperwork or anything like that?
For the last 18 months, we worked at getting him a veteran's pension. He was a World War II veteran, and we spent a lot of time on that. And now again, I'm working out with the VA to get my mother that military pension for that World War II veteran. So yeah, I'm still doing VA paperwork. It's constant in my life.
Okay, so okay, got you. Yeah, so he's probably talking that. Your husband keeps showing me also. I don't know what this is, but do you carry your husband's keys, or do you have your husband's keys?
Yes.
Okay. I want to tell you with your husband, this is what I'm feeling. Oh, by the way, who's going to Arlington? Who's being put in Arlington?
Tom is definitely going to be interred at Arlington, and possibly my father with him.
Okay. Is that what you're doing with some of the paperwork stuff?
Some of it.
Okay. But you are also, but like, I feel like, but definitely with your husband, it is definitely with your husband, he's going to go to Arlington.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
definitely happening.
Yes.
That even though I feel like he's given me the feeling that he could be kind of difficult sometime or challenging sometimes or things like that, but he's telling me at the end of the day, he wants you to know, and I feel like you do know this, but he's telling me that he absolutely did love you very much. And he actually says that you guys had a very beautiful relationship, beautiful connection. I feel like, just like probably any relationship, right? There's probably always things to work on or things like that. But I know when I connect to him that he had this deep love for you. And he says that there's no question at all that you were his soulmate. I want to tell you also too, you have two guides that are with you right now. And I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, somebody said something. Can you hear me, Debbie?
Yeah, I can hear you. It gets a little tinny sometimes, but yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why that's doing that. So you know what, after your reading, I'll see if maybe there's something on my settings I need to fix on. But I did want to tell you a couple of things. So one thing is, there is so like I said, everybody has also guides that are with us too. And the guides are, so you've got your father and you've got your husband. Obviously, they're in spirit and around you. By the way, they are telling me, just so you understand this, they are going to be sending you coins to let you know that they're around you, and cardinals. But I did want to tell you also, now I'm not good with this, but for some reason also, Saint Anne is with you. She's telling me she's a Catholic saint. I don't know what Saint Anne does. So you might have to look up and see what saint, you know how they all have different responsibilities.
Right.
I don't know what Saint Anne does, but for some reason she's with you. And also Mary, Mary, Mother Mary is with you too. So now I have found a lot when I do readings, because I don't get too caught up on the Catholic thing. I mean, I'm a Catholic. I am a Catholic. I still consider myself a Catholic, but I'm spiritual too. And I tend to think that, those guys in that Catholic tradition, they're guides, and they can help anybody. I've had readings with people where they're atheists or they're Jewish or they're Buddhist or whatever, and Mother Mary comes through. So I don't know. Are you Catholic?
Yes. Everybody in my family, including my husband, all Catholic.
Very Catholic. Okay, so it probably makes a little bit more sense in your case because some of them are. Now I want to ask you too. I want to keep seeing this and stuff. They keep. Can I ask you? Did you have a relationship with your husband where you guys would sometimes tease each other or joke around, or like in good fun? But did you have that type of dynamic with him?
Sometimes.
Okay.
That would be me. He's, yeah, occasionally.
More
Let's put it that way.
Okay, yeah. And I want to also tell you too, as I'm connecting to, that I feel with him, I feel like they're telling me that to remind you that, when somebody goes to the spirit world, right? So when somebody goes to the spirit world, there's all sorts of different energy and different connections that happens with things. And when somebody goes to the spirit world, they don't want us to stop living our life. They don't want us to be like, oh, you know what? I've got to, they are, that's what they keep bringing through to me. So in a certain way, I know it sounds kind of like, well, that's easy for them to say, but they're saying that they are trying to help you move forward, because it's like, boom, lost, and so talking about trying to help you, and I feel like when I'm connecting with you, I feel like you're a very strong, resilient person, very, very strong energy. So they're, like I said, just know that they're trying to help you to kind of move forward. Not that you won't still miss them, love them, want to hear from them, want to connect with them, but they are telling me that they're trying to help you to move forward. I don't know if that makes sense to you and stuff, but I feel like, and you may have even felt some of that inner strength coming. You may have even felt that, that they're like, okay, they're really, they're very much connecting and trying to help as much as possible. So just know that they're kind of, they're really guiding you forward in that. Now, I want to ask you this because I'm feeling this. Hold on one second. So the severe Alzheimer's, that's your father?
Yes.
Okay. Was to the point that he would get very confused and sometimes not know who you are?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It was extreme. He was stage 4. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I felt like he's bringing that through to me. I feel when I connect to him, because he was, oh, and can I ask you, would he talk about being connected to the grandsons, or did he have grandsons that he was connected to?
Yes, he had 5 grandsons, no granddaughters, and one of them lived with him,
Okay,
was
yeah,
very
'cause
close, but he loved
okay,
all the boys, yeah.
yeah, because he's talking about being very connected to the grandsons. Very, he's just, I don't know, that's what's coming through though, but he's saying, I was very close to
Yeah,
my
yeah,
grandsons and very proud of them and stuff.
yes, he
I
was.
did want to say also, just when I'm here, do you understand the woman coming through that I'm feeling in spirit that passed from, she actually passed from breast cancer, or like, I don't know, yeah, she died from breast cancer. I don't know who she is, but she's just kind of like here. Have you lost anybody from breast cancer?
Not, I'm trying to place that. No, I've lost a lot of people, but I don't recall anybody that's had that. No,
Yeah,
or I
because
might
it's
be just
interesting. I'm
missing it.
seeing, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, because I'm seeing the pink ribbons and stuff. And also, I want to this. I just want to stay with this one thing. This feels like more like a friend. Is there a friend that maybe you might have lost from breast cancer? Like not a family member.
No,
And
no, I lost a very dear
do you
friend
have
a
your
year and a
husband?
half ago, but not to breast cancer.
Okay, not from breast cancer. Okay.
No.
And I want to ask you this also, a couple of other things. Does anybody have, by the way, any swallowing issues? Or this could be somebody that, even passed or stuff,
That
something
was
like that.
Dad. That was Dad. He
But is
choked
there,
choked really badly from
okay,
the Alzheimer's
yeah.
makes you lose that.
Mhm.
Yeah, my dad had
Okay.
a really bad.
And,
He carded, and then they got him back.
okay, got you. Yes, I think he's bringing that through.
Yeah.
And I want to say also when I'm connecting him to, I want to say this. Is it possible with your husband, because this is what I'm feeling, is it possible that he had something wrong with?
I'm sorry. It stopped again. The signal stopped. But is it? You said, is it possible that he had?
Oh, I was saying, is it possible with your husband that is there possible with your husband that he had something wrong with him, with his heart, that you guys didn't know about? I know you said that he passed from heart issues, but
Oh,
was this,
nobody
I
knew.
guess what I want to say is it feels like, yeah, okay. And
Saw heart
okay, so I
doctors.
feel
He
like
saw all the
he's for
doctors.
some reason, yeah.
Oh no, he saw a heart specialist 4 months
Okay.
before he died. He
So,
had a stress test. But
okay,
it was a
okay,
shock.
yeah, because I feel like he's bringing that. Okay, yeah, so I think he might just be kind of bringing that up. Okay, I'm going to, we're going to kind of go back to a couple, and hold on one second, I just need to go back to something here. Hold on. Oh, and do you know Michael?
My youngest son is Michael.
Okay, is that like a stepchild to him, to your husband?
Yes.
Or is that,
Yes.
okay. For some reason, your husband tells me that he's watching over Michael. I don't know. I mean, were they close?
Yes. Tom was close
Okay.
with, raised both the boys, both my boys. He raised them. And Michael
Okay.
has a daughter, our only grandchild. So.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think he's bringing. I did feel like he's bringing that up a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. Great. Well, we're going to go on to the next person. But thank you. And again, you can, if there's anything you want to check out, if there's something you want to follow up on, you can always go to chat. I'm going to, give me 1 minute. I'm going to try to work on this connection issue because it seems like it's going in and out. Give me 1 minute. There is one more thing I'm going to, that I want to go, well, I'll just, let me get this and then I'll go back. Okay, I think I did fix that. It actually looks like for some reason, I'm not sure why, I was, let me just double check that. I can't believe that. Okay, yeah, so I think I figured that out. It was something where I was connected to somebody the wrong way. So hold on one second. Give me just one more second, guys. Just 10 more seconds. I'm gonna just make sure that. Okay, I think I figured that out. I'm not sure what happened. It's for some reason I was logged into my neighbor's internet. I don't know how that happened because sometimes sometimes he comes and hangs out and somehow his internet was on my phone. I don't know how that happened, but I was logged into his, so it like wasn't as strong. So hopefully it should be clearer now. Does it seem clear? It almost seems clearer now. I don't know if we'll totally know for sure, but okay, great. Yeah, it seems like it's a clearer signal. I can even tell in the image a little bit. Okay, great. So yeah, that was what that was about. I didn't even know that his so anyways, so all right, sounds good. So that was weird. All right, so it must have been connecting to him, and so that's why it didn't. I was like, it's weird because I know I have pretty strong signal. Okay, great. If there's any other problems, let me know on that. So, because I want to make sure, obviously I mean, it didn't affect anything, but I just want to make sure because, all right, Debbie, oh, and Debbie, just make sure too, remember, because they kept telling me this, cardinals and coins. They wanted me to tell you that again. So let's go to our next person. I do see some chat questions. I'll get to those in a second. Let's go to Sherry Ann.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello.
Mediumship and psychic.
Okay. Well, yes, that's what we're doing. So what questions do you have psychic and what questions do you have mediumship? Is there somebody you want to hear from in spirit?
Yes, my wife, and the psychic would be financial.
Okay. So financial, I can tune into that. I'd actually like to start now. I want to just ask you something. Did your wife, was she connected at all to your financial stuff? Like, did you guys share finances?
Yes.
Okay. So she might know about some of the financial things that you're dealing with, possibly?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So let me just ask if I can get some things about things. May I ask you, did she die recently?
Just over 2 years ago.
Okay. And then I just want to ask you also too, you don't know Laura, do you?
No.
Can I ask you, because I'm feeling this, they're telling, do you know like somebody with a similar name to that, like Lori or Laura? I don't know. I'm getting like some name that's kind of like that.
Lynn.
What'd you say?
Lynn?
Oh, could definitely be. Yeah. Is there somebody with that name?
Yes.
Okay. Is that with her or is that a different person?
That's with her.
Oh, that's okay. Is that her name?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And can I ask you also, because I'm feeling this, we can kind of go back to this, but it feels like there is also an older man that wants to come through. When I'm feeling this older man coming through, I'm getting with him very strong connection to the military. Again, this is coming through. I know this came on somebody else's call, but sometimes they kind of, so who had the strong connection to the military, either on your side or her side?
Both.
Okay, both. So let me kind of go more into that and see if I can get more of that. I'm also getting an image of like somebody had a really strong appreciation for horses. I even feel like at some point they might have had a couple of horses. Do you understand that?
Yes.
For some reason, I keep seeing that horses. I'm not really sure what the significance of it is, but I keep seeing that. I want to also ask you this too, because I'm feeling this. Were you, or would I be understanding this, but were you together with this person? Were you guys together for a very, very long time? Were you in a long-term relationship in terms of, were you together for a long period of time?
18 years.
And I also was getting a feeling too with this person that, I just want to ask you this because I'm seeing this, have you gotten signs with her through
Yes.
rainbows? Because she keeps showing me rainbows. So have you seen rainbows?
I have.
Okay. I want to say also, this is what I'm feeling. It feels like there's a lot of, I'm just going to kind of go back to this in a second, but it feels like there's a lot of big financial decisions that Spirit's telling me that you're going to be needing to be making in the next maybe 6 months or so. Do you feel like there are some big financial things that you have to kind of, like, it's almost like Spirit saying you can't postpone these anymore? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Because they're telling me, like, maybe you were, I don't know, if maybe you were thinking that you wanted to delay it or you wanted to postpone it or something. But they were telling me that this is really now the time that you've got to really kind of get, this has got to kind of happen now. I did want to also ask you too, is there anybody in Spirit I would be feeling for you? I'm not sure if it's definitely your mother, but it feels like a maternal energy. So it could either be your mother or, somebody that you would have considered like a mother. Does that make sense to you at all?
No.
This person, let me just go a little bit more stronger with this person. I'm actually hearing the name Mary. Do you know if is there a Mary somewhere?
No.
Yeah, I'm hearing this person, Mary. Hold on 1 second. Now, what about on your wife's side?
It's possible.
Okay. I want to ask you this also too. Is there anything that I'm seeing I keep seeing HOL or HOL or HAL?
Hollinger. H-O.
Is that a HOL?
H-O-L.
Okay. And where does that go with?
Father's side.
Oh, your father's side? Okay. And is your father passed?
No.
Okay. But you're saying that's some sort of like last name that's on your father's side somewhere?
Yes.
Can I ask you, is there something that I would be feeling with somebody where, I don't know if it's your father or it could be you, but is there something where there was like not as in touch with those people at the end, or something where I don't really or something where, not at the end I want to say, but were you ever like out of touch with, was there ever like a falling out with your dad's side? That's what I want to say.
No, but some I never got to know.
Some you never got to know. And then who would I be seeing that did a lot with like the photos? They like to take pictures. They like to take photos. I keep seeing like, I think your wife is showing me this, but was not like a photographer, but like, did she like to take photos of things and stuff?
Yes.
Do you have a lot of the photos and things?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to also ask you this because I'm feeling this. Oh, by the way, also, do you know the name Anne?
Yes.
Okay. Where does that go with, honey?
My mother.
Okay. And I want to ask you this because I'm feeling this. Is there anything with your wife where I'm getting a lot of confusion in this part of her body? Like, I don't know if you can see me, but like the head, or I don't know what this is, but was there head issues, or did she ever have any head problems?
No.
Did how she passed at all affect her head?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting though. I'm getting
Diabetes.
Oh, okay. And you said diabetes?
Yes.
Oh. But did it affect her head at some point?
Yes. Coma.
Oh, yeah. So because of the diabetes, she went into a coma? Or
Yeah.
something?
Short time.
Okay. I did want to tell you also, I'm feeling this. Now, I don't know if, when I think of this, it means to me in a sense of a property, but I don't know that it has to mean this in this context. But they're talking about you downsizing. They're talking about you downsizing. They keep bringing up about you downsizing. Is that something that you're planning on doing, or is there something where you've thought about that maybe you want to, but again, I don't know if it means property. It could mean getting rid of stuff. It could mean like, I don't know, are you doing anything that I would be perceiving as like you're downsizing things at all? Trying to
And the,
simplify things or something like that?
well, more country than where I'm at now.
Okay.
So yes, I have thought about moving.
Okay, okay. And I did want to say also too, there's something that I'm seeing about, there's some, they're not telling me all the specifics about this, but they are saying that there's some good financial stuff that's going to be coming your way. And I don't know if you're trying to work on some financial stuff, if you're trying to kind of get some stuff organized with your financial stuff, but are you trying to get a little bit more clarity about your financial stuff?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm another one with the VA, and that's a big part of it.
Oh, yes. Okay. That makes sense. So you're doing you're trying to get a lot of things organized with that, go back over things and really kind of get some answers about what you need to go forward and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, my own VA and my spouse's.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me just, why am I seeing a white car, like an old white car?
Eleanor, it's a Mustang.
Okay. Is that something you had with your wife?
Yes.
Okay. I feel the financial stuff is going to kind of get to a better place. So what I'm seeing is you've got to keep focusing on things. You got to keep going at things. You got to keep diving into things, because they're making me feel the more that you do that, the better. You know, you have to keep on really kind of moving forward with this. You have to, that's what they keep talking about and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
So,
understand.
yeah, it's almost like, you shouldn't have to, but they're telling me that you have to keep fighting. You have to, and yeah, but you said your father's alive, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he has dementia right now, so he's kind of slips
You know,
of this reality to the spirit world, I believe.
yeah, that's interesting. That's not what I'm getting, because I'm getting something about somebody's father that died by suicide. So, okay, that must just be that might just be somebody popping in or something. Maybe that might come aware as we move forward and stuff. You don't have a strong, because I know sometimes people have stepfathers, or you don't have anybody fatherly that died by suicide.
No.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, the paperwork thing I'm feeling, that is going to work out for you. Like I said, they're saying to me, as far as that goes, you're on a good path with that. You're going to be getting the answers that you need with stuff. And things are going to be really on a good path and stuff. So just keep putting that out there. It's almost like when they say no, you got to keep kind of following up on things,
Right.
and kind of keep going, because it feels like it's not like a personal thing. I just feel like I don't know what it just feels like there's a tremendous amount of disorganization. And that's what I feel is what's going on and stuff. So. Okay, thank you, Sherry. Anastasia's letting me know we're going to go to our next person. Now, there was somebody in the last call that before, because I actually logged out and came back in to fix that internet issue. So this is interesting. But, and Sherry, by the way, just one other thing, because I did get this. Your wife, since you guys were so connected, she also connects with you a lot in nature. So if you could spend more time in nature, that would actually be really a positive way to feel her more. She is actually telling me that she's around you a lot, but sometimes I don't want to say discount things, but you sort of like things will happen, but you don't pay attention to it as much as you should. So just really keep that vision up there, keep really feeling like, you know, kind of keep, and I feel like if you keep doing that, you're gonna, you know, you will definitely feel her. And I think that she is somebody who, I mean, she's going to help you with this and things like this. So she's a very, you know, I think she knows what you're going through. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, yes. So somebody had asked about, the shaman thing. And that woman who had asked about that before had asked with the shaman stuff, if you should look for somebody to help you or you should just kind of go with the flow. And the feeling that I'm getting is more, you know, I was actually going to tell you this. I am hearing that I was hearing that if the more, it's like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So what I think is, yes, I wouldn't necessarily go looking, but I would kind of invite that energy into you. And I think that that could really help you to, you know, kind of pull things forward and things in that way. So I would say be open to somebody coming in for you, but don't necessarily make it like you got to be looking for someone. I think that's how I would leave that for that. Okay. All right, we're going to go to our next reading. And we have up next who it is. It's Ada. Oh, there we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
What can I do for you?
I'm looking for, I guess, a mediumship or some sort of validation from loved ones that have passed away. And that's mostly initiated through a journey that my son is going through. He has an intense fear and anxiety of dying. And I'm just wondering how I can best help him deal with this anxiety. I don't know if it's where it's coming from, but I just want to do my best to guide him.
Okay, how old is he, sweetheart?
He's 11.
Okay. And when you say that he has what is it that he does? Does he talk about it a lot and stuff?
He talks about it a lot. Sometimes when he's tired, at nighttime he'll just cry. And he has a fear. He's like fear of losing loved ones, a fear of what happens when you die, oscillating between, you know, evidence-based scientific thinking that it's just seeing a white light is just a trick that the brain plays on us, and just the fear of what happens when we die. So I think my being here today is mostly because of him and just a curiosity of could I get a validation of some sort? And it might just be a journey that he has to go through, but
what is his first name?
My son's name?
Yeah, what is his first name?
Luca.
Luca. Okay, so let's just start with a connection with him. Hold on one second. Okay. And did you lose the father from suicide?
No.
Oh, there's somebody coming through that I'm getting that passed from suicide. I don't know who this person is that keeps coming through though. It's weird. What'd you say?
My ex had a cousin who committed suicide.
Okay.
And it's his
Yeah,
daughter.
and I don't know because it's weird because this person keeps coming in, so it could just be that maybe it's for somebody else, like it was for that other lady, and then it didn't. So okay, so let me just kind of connect and just kind of feel here and stuff. Hold on one second. So let me just go back to go back to Luca. What's your first name?
My name is Yelena.
Yelena. So there's actually a couple things that are coming through that I would like to address with you. So first off, I think the first thing they're telling me is that exactly what you have kind of told me about your son is one part of it is what they're really they're definitely validating that. They're saying that this is very much not about anything with you. This has nothing to do with you at all. This doesn't have anything to do with, really any sort of journey, really, actually, that you're on. It really has more to do with your son's path and just the path that he wants to kind of go, that he needs to go on. He's a very, very, very old soul. I feel like I'm hearing, I mean, he is a very, very, very old soul. He's a very, very old spirit, I feel. So he has been here many, many times. And I feel like part of the reason why he is, I think this is actually about your spiritual growth, excuse me, as much as it is about his spiritual growth.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you guys are sort of in a way kind of growing together is what I feel like. And so that's one of the things that's happening is there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And I think that this is I feel like part of this is supposed to help you to sort of how do I want to say this, but almost like it's supposed to help you to do learning through this in a way.
Right.
But let me just kind of keep going and stuff like that, because I feel like there's other things that are coming through. I also got a feeling as I'm connecting that he is very, 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 very sensitive, just in general. So even separate from this, they're making me feel like he feels very, very sensitive to me. And I feel like he has a very sensitive energy. I guess separate of this whole thing that you're dealing with, that's kind of more, you're dealing with in a big way. Is that anything that you have noticed with him, that like, do you feel that he is very sensitive in general?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's extremely aware and thoughtful and perceptive and thinks about things much more deeply than my daughter, for example. It's very different. Yeah.
Okay. And also I want to say too, because I'm feeling this, you know why they keep showing me the letter D? And I'm not sure what the significance of it is, but I keep seeing D, D, D. I don't know. Is there anybody with the letter D that I would be seeing?
Well, my grandmother on my mom's side was Dushka, and my great grandmother on my dad's side was Dada.
Okay, so there's somebody with a D coming through, but I'm not sure exactly who it is. And sometimes if it's a name I'm not familiar with, they'll just give me the letter.
Okay.
I did want to ask you also, there's not a Lydia. Or, again, if the names are not as common, it could be a name sort of like that at all. But is there anybody with that? Like, it's like, I think it's like Libda, or like with an L.
Well, my grandmother was Veselina. I don't know if the Lena portion makes sense, but
And were you close to her?
she did live in Toronto, so I was close to her. But it's my my grandmother with the D that lived overseas that I didn't have as close of a relationship with, but I did physically close, but I did feel very connected to her when I would spend time with her.
Okay. And I want to also ask you one other thing. Do you know anybody with the name Peter?
Peter.
Or again, if there's a similar name, like a P name or something like that, or like something with the you know, like I don't know. It actually has to be like, you know, could be Petro or I don't know. But is there somebody with like a P and a T name?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. The other thing that I'm feeling that I need to tell you is that they're telling me that oh, by the way, are you named after somebody?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I know.
The other thing they're telling me is that you, partly what's going on with your son is that first off, he's not going to die soon. There's nothing about this that is, it's not any sort of like warning thing and isn't any sort of like message that he's going to die. What's happening is he's going through something that it's almost like an empath kind of like overload. So what's happening is he's picking up all sorts of energy. And the way that his body per se is sort of processing it and understanding it is that is something about you know, death or something. But he's not, there isn't anything with him. He's not going to pass away soon.
Okay.
It's not like spirits trying to warn you about something. It's not like they're trying to say, oh, you know, you better, you know, take, you know, that's not what's coming through.
And he was speaking with somebody, like when he was 2 years old, I came to get him and he turned to the corner of the room. There was a chair and he, like in our language, he said, "Bye, sir," as he walked out. Do you have a sense of who that could have been, or like?
That actually feels like a guide of his. That actually feels like a guide that actually connected with him, that has been with him. So like I said, this isn't, you know, it's nice because there's kind of parallels to other things that we were talking about today. But, you know, we all have 50 to 100 guides. So, so what I'm seeing is that was, I think that was just a guide of his, is that what I'm feeling. And I feel, so that's what I'm feeling and stuff like that. And I feel and we can ask about that and things like that. And, you know, if there's more, yeah. And they are showing me also, they keep bringing this up and stuff like this, but do you know the man that I would be feeling with the fishing, or the man that I'm seeing that was very connected to, it's a spirit person, but I see something with him being a fisherman, or do you have anybody in spirit that was a fisherman? Not necessarily a fisherman, but they like to fish is what I'm seeing, or they did fishing. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, I'm not sure. My grandfather, but again, he lived.
This is actually on your husband's side?
Well, I have an ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm.
Is it this guy's father?
Is it what?
Is it Luca's father?
Yes, it's his father.
There's somebody, yeah. What is your ex-husband's first name?
His name is Slaven.
Okay, so on Slavin's side,
okay.
This is where that I see somebody who was like a fisherman or something. So, but again, I don't feel like it's like they were a fisherman, like they fished all the time. I'm getting that they were a fisherman, like they, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So, does that make sense to you?
To be honest, I really don't know. I could ask him or his family about that, and that's sort of the second part of my question. My ex and I have anyway, he's an ex for a reason, but does the spirit guides, or do they have any sort of advice in terms of my romantic life, with my relationship with my ex? Is there any way or anything that I should keep in mind with respect to that relationship or my current one?
So you're in a new relationship.
Yes.
You know what I'm what I'm feeling that they're telling me is that the main thing that they're trying to kind of get you to kind of focus on, and sort of the main thing that they're kind of getting, they're wanting you to kind of focus on and deal with, and the main thing that they're saying that is the most important thing is that that they bring up to me, that's the most important thing, is that just that you know, basically they're saying that you need to, this is a good time for you to focus on yourself. They're saying that anything you can do right now where you can really energetically focus on yourself, focus on, you know, just your own spiritual growth and things like that. I feel like that's really important. And so I think with relationships, they're saying that it's not really so important right now to be totally focused onto a relationship, because they're giving me the feeling that the new person, though, I feel is a positive energy. I feel like the new person is a good energy. And as far as you were asking, what were you asking about your ex-husband, just kind of what the dynamic is going to be with him? What do you want to know about him? Just kind of what energies around him?
I guess, yeah. It was kind of a difficult journey, and he struggled through some things, and I've tried for a long time to try to help. But
you know, I see more of a separation there. I see more of like a keeping a distance there. I feel like they're saying that this isn't a thing that you need to get kind of all wrapped up into or involved with again. You know, it's fine for you to just kind of, you know, sort of let that be, I feel. I feel that with your son, you know, I feel that there's a little bit of there is a stronger spiritual connection with your son. I feel like with your son, there's a stronger, I feel like he is more transparent about things. I feel like he's more open about things. I feel like he's more, you know, open to kind of, you know, communicate with you and things like that. So I think more of those things are more, I just feel like there's more of a trust there and stuff. So yeah, that's what I keep feeling and stuff. And I think that your son, they're not giving me a feeling that he doesn't have a connection with your ex-husband, but I just feel that the connection with you and him is definitely a little bit stronger, you know? Now, who has the dental practice?
that's me.
But you don't have that with your husband, do you?
Well, we had a fire a few years ago, and he helped me rebuild the practice.
Oh, okay. But it really is kind of more, it's really, I mean, it really is more it's more yours, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I was seeing something. And does it make sense that they're telling me that you want to continue with your practice, but you're also open to kind of going in a new direction with things, or you're open to doing some other things as well, or does that make sense to you at all?
Yeah, well, I think I'm looking to find more of a work-life balance. But I feel happy with where I am professionally.
Okay.
I'm not looking to change that.
Okay, got you. Yeah. And you're looking to maybe possibly make some changes professionally or shift some things or something like that, or you're open to doing that?
There's kind of a lot of changes going on right now. with the current environment with the COVID and whatnot. So there are shifts happening within the practice. So I'm constantly sort of juggling and trying to keep up with the times. But I don't know if that's what you mean.
Okay. Well, they're telling me that there is going to be some opportunities for things. They're saying that there is going to be some changes with things, I feel. So, and so yeah, they are telling me that there is going to be some changes with things and stuff. And they are, yeah, they're pretty, it feels like a pretty positive thing and stuff like that. Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, they're showing me that and stuff like that. They're showing me also too, hold on one second, let me just see here. Do you know also, would you know George, or do you know who George is?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
From...
The other thing that they're telling me, and I'm going to kind of tell you this because this was sort of, I think I said this to you before, but I want to explain this a little bit more. I feel that a little bit of what is going on is your son is picking up a little bit on your fear energy. So like, I feel like because he's talking about this stuff and it's sort of stressing you out, I feel like it's actually, it's kind of like a vicious circle a little bit. So one thing is Spirit is saying is try to have a little bit more, I don't want to say a calmness about it, but maybe more of an inquisitive thing. Maybe more ask him some questions, ask him what he thinks about things, what is his opinion about things. If he's having these experiences, maybe ask him, well, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Can you share a little, because I'm getting the feeling that will kind of, I think that will kind of help with things. I think that will kind of bring a little bit of a better energy with things, even if it feels like it's still, it's uncertain a little bit. I think that not bringing in that fear where it kind of triggers you, I think that could really be very helpful just overall. And so just something I wanted to tell you that Spirit was bringing up too, is to just kind of try to shift your energy a little bit, like maybe ask him about the things that he sees. I know that you do that, but maybe to keep it more focused on that, I feel like they're giving me a feeling that is important and stuff. So, okay. We're going to go on to our next person. I did want to say that I do have still this person who died by suicide that I'm picking up on. And it's funny, we talked about a dental practice. He might have been a dentist, a doctor, a physician, a chiropractor, or something like that. And also, too, there is somebody that I'm hearing from that's on the other side. She's an older lady. She had scleroderma, I believe. I don't know what her relationship is to you. She might be a grandmother. I think she might be a grandma. Or she might have had like, I don't know what that thing is, scarsota or sclerodora, the thing in the lungs or something. Anyways, okay, so we're going to go to our next person. So we have here, I'm going to go to, see here. So we're going to Julia next. Julia, yes. You got to just unmute yourself, Julia.
Yes, my grandma had scleroderma.
Oh, great. Okay, well, you're our next person anyways, so maybe that would be your grandmother coming through. We can kind of go back to that. What do you want to ask in terms of what questions do you have?
I've been through a real onslaught in every area of my life. I'm just really exhausted, and I think today I really just need some hopeful, positive messages. I'd love to hear from my dad. I also lost a good friend in April to COVID, a very important person in my life. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I need some,
You don't know Nancy, do you?
No, I don't know Nancy.
Okay. And do you know Judy?
Yes, I know Judy. That's my aunt.
And do you know Elaine?
Elaine? I don't know any Elaine.
Or do you know and do you know okay, there, yes, I don't know who Elaine is, but I'm hearing Judy. Um, is Judy somebody very connected to your mom and dad?
Yes. Hmm.
And would I get the feeling with your father that he was like a best friend for you?
Yes. Hmm.
You had a very close relationship in that way, is that right?
Yes.
And would he tell me that you've been dealing with a lot of I keep hearing about this, but he's been dealing with a lot of health issues. You've been dealing with a lot of your mom's health issues.
With her, and I have my own. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got your own, but you've also been kind of managing her things too.
Yes.
Okay. And also, I want to ask you, how about the name Sarah or Sally, or I get like that name.
Sarah is my niece, my parents' first grandchild. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I just Sarah. I think it's a grandmother. I think it's one of my father's relatives, and I'm really out of it. I haven't slept in a while, but yeah, I think it's one of my it's one of his relatives who passed
Okay.
away.
And is there anything where they're talking about heavy metal poisoning causing insomnia?
Yeah, I mean, I've cleared a lot of heavy metals. I've always wanted to know why. The last 12 years I've had it. I have a good doctor, and metals are always clearing from me. And I'm dependent on a medicine. It's very difficult. But yes, I've cleared a lot of metals. I think a year ago we had a reading, and you said I was clearing a lot.
And is it going on again?
Yeah, it seems to. I don't know how someone could have that many
Right.
heavy metals, but yes, yeah.
And one thing they're telling me is, which is interesting, which I don't understand all the specifics of it, but I did feel like this is coming through. But one thing I'm also seeing too is it does feel like there's some stuff with, are you looking at possibly with the medication, are you looking at changing the medication at all?
We did. I have a good neurologist now, so he got me off something that was really bad.
Okay.
So I'm glad. We can't really, in the future, we're going to try to get me off of it, but I need to be able to first be in a better place and sleeping,
Yeah. And there are some things also that they're showing me with your stomach. So
Mhm.
I don't know if do you have some small, is it possible that you have some small stomach issues?
I do. I've had a swallowing disorder for many years, and it's connected to the stomach, and yeah, I've like I said, I've been through a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're talking also about William or Will or Bill, or I don't know who that is, but is there a Bill or William?
I don't know. It doesn't come to mind right
Okay.
now.
And what about also, I'm hearing this would be in the living, the name Paula or Paul.
Well, there are two. My sister is Paula. My ex was
Okay.
Paul, but my sister is Paula.
Okay. And what about Grandpa Joe?
Yes, Grandpa Joe was my dad's father.
Okay. And I want to also ask you too, when I'm hearing about this, I did feel that you are starting to, I don't know what all the specifics is, but they're bringing up about you starting to think about, or this is definitely on your mind, that you're wanting to possibly I don't know exactly what this is, but they're telling me that something with your, something where you're starting to really think about the next 5 to 10 years.
Yes.
And I don't know, does that make sense to you?
Yes, yeah, because with this illness, I feel I would like to create a life in terms of just relationship, in terms of career, and I'm disabled, and yes, it sort of weighs on me because during the pandemic, I sort of realized my siblings aren't here for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sort of brought up
And it feels like it feels like Spirit is saying that they've never like 100% been there for you, right? It's always been.
Probably not, but I think because my parents were so there for me, it didn't it didn't really affect me as much as it does now.
Right. Now they're talking about Michael. I keep hearing this over and over and over. Do you know the name Michael?
I do have a friend, Michael. I don't know.
And also, do you know?
My father's, my grandfather's father is a Michael.
And then also, they're talking about you something about you where your dad is telling me about this, but are you worried about when your mother goes to spirit that your siblings may kick you out of the house?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that has come up just in my head because I just feel, like I said, during the pandemic, I just saw how they really aren't there for me. So being disabled, like these things, you know, do come up and there is fear. And that's why I want just direction on how to create a life. I mean, right now I'm doing incredible. Like even my therapist, she said someone in your situation wouldn't even, you know, do as well as you're doing. So I'm doing the best I can. You know, I know you once said they're not going to kick me out. I think these are just very core fears.
Yeah. I don't think they'll kick you out, but I see more energy of them putting pressure on you, stressing you out. And so it feels like, I mean, for your highest good, that it might be really good for you to, you know, I don't want to say get out of this situation, but I feel like the more you can kind of start to cultivate and kind of curate a different life for yourself, I think that would be very important. Again, I feel like they're showing me this is like building blocks though, you know? So I think they're showing me little by little, piece by piece, doing things little by little. It's not going to be like overnight, you know, but I feel like there's, you know, that's what they're basically giving me. Does that make sense?
Therapist, she specializes in disabled people. That's what she wants to work on. Yeah.
Yeah. Now they're showing me another thing here because they keep bringing this up too. Is there anything that I'm feeling about, because I keep hearing about this, but is there anybody with the name, oh, and I want to ask you, are you doing some writing?
That's what I need to start. And then just something always happens. Like I had a few setbacks. I don't want to get into it just physically, but that's exactly what I feel I need to write my story. And I know it's really important.
Yeah, because they're telling me that, you know, what they keep saying is they're saying that the writing would really bring kind of a new path to things for you. And I feel like it would kind of open up some doors for you. And I feel like it would, does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Perfect sense. Everything.
Yeah. So they're talking about really, and they're just saying that right now you haven't been able to focus on that. But they are saying that that's, you know, kind of, you know, that we're the, you know, I feel like that's the direction that things are happening and stuff. And I do see you writing, and I feel like that's going to be a way for you to get a little bit of autonomy. And I feel like Spirit is saying also that even if you can just get a little bit of autonomy, you know, that could feel like, you know, like little by little, it could feel better and better and better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically what they're kind of bringing up about that. But it feels like you're on a good path, and it feels like they're saying that, you know, they're pretty, you know, they're pretty happy for you in terms of that you're, again, just that you're doing little by little, piece by piece, but you're trying to really, you know, kind of, you know, focus on things and kind of, you know, bring a better energy to things. So I think that they're definitely acknowledging that, and I feel like they see a lot of the changes that you're trying to make and stuff.
And just my friend who passed, she passed in, it was a real shock. It was from COVID. That her leaving has felt very difficult because she was a great source of support.
Yeah.
You know, emotionally.
Yeah. She feels like a very strong energy, and she feels like she's a very, very strong personality. strong person, strong energy. And I feel like she's given me the feeling that just to be determined. And she says, you got to keep fighting. You can't take no, you know, was she kind of like vigilant like that?
She was a real fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, because she says you can't take no for an answer. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. She says, you know, she says something about you are going to, she says you're going to have a pizza someday.
Yeah, she would always say that because I was swallowing issue. She said, when you could eat, I'm going to bring you to the best pizza in Brooklyn. So yeah.
So she's like, I feel like she's just like, I feel like what Spirit is saying is that it might feel to you that you're so far away, but I feel like they're telling me you're actually a lot closer than you feel to sort of going to the next level of kind of getting to a better place with this stuff. So yeah. Okay, good. We're going to go on to our next person. Thanks so much, Julia. We're going to, again, I'll be monitoring the chat. So if things come up or you want to ask something. So we're doing Gloria and then Jewel. So hold on one second. Gloria, we're going to unmute her. Hi, Gloria. Hi, Gloria. Oh, I think you muted yourself again here. I'll unmute you.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes, you are, dear.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Okay. With the gentleman that committed suicide, my neighbor just committed suicide this week, and he was a merchant seaman.
Okay.
So he had something to do with water, but then someone else's son-in-law, who was a dentist, committed suicide. So I don't know. Did you get a picture of this person?
We can go back to that. I think it might be more that, were you close to your neighbor?
Well, we were friends, and it's distressed me because I had no idea that he was, I mean, we talked about the Beatles because we both like Beatle music, and it's just really gotten under my skin because I had no clue that he was in that state, and it bothers me that I didn't.
Okay. And did you guys live in like a condo building?
Yes, and he's right around the corner from me, and he took the condo from someone who was a great friend of mine and great support for me for a long time with a dog that I had that was sick. And so, yeah.
Okay. It could be some sort of double connection. So let's ask a little bit more once, you know, we can kind of keep going for, let's put that out there. What else do you want to know about?
Well, I want to know about, I'd like to have a little bit of each, psychic and medium. I'd like to know about my mom because she seems to be getting worse and worse with things. She's right now living sometime with me, but most of the time with my sister because of the COVID thing. But she seems to be getting worse and worse as far as putting up with things with her living conditions. And I don't know how to help her deal with things. And so that I'd like to know about that. And also if Spirit can tell me if they see me retiring anytime soon.
Okay. So the thing that I'm feeling, anybody live on the 21st floor?
No.
Is your father passed?
Yes.
Okay. You know, he's giving me the feeling of being around your mom a lot. I feel like he's trying to help your mom a lot. I feel like what I'm hearing is that your mom's spirit is definitely kind of making some preparations to go to the other side. I feel like your mom's spirit is not, you know, is now what I would say is she's in an exit point. You know, somebody can be in an exit point for a long time. They don't have to be in an exit. It doesn't have to be that they pass, right away. But I feel that she is in an exit point. So I do feel like her soul is sort of making some, is starting to make some, decisions about things. And I do feel like, I do feel like that is happening. But I don't get a feeling that it's going to be a soon thing. Is she starting to get a little bit confused, or is she starting to feel a little confused at all?
She does. Yeah, she does
Mhm.
get that way from time to time.
Yeah. And your father's also telling me that she has a lot of support with some of the different people around her and stuff like that. So
She does.
does she have a lot of people that kind of are, that kind of, I don't know, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to also ask you, do you know, because I keep hearing this, do you know the name Joe at all?
That's a neighbor, but other than that, no.
And do you know why I'm hearing, because I keep hearing this, is there a reason why the neighbor person that you were talking about, who I don't know if that was him before, but maybe he's coming in now, but is there a reason that he's talking about Michigan?
Oh, well, it could very well be Michigan. Michigan is definitely tied to our family.
Okay. And I want to also ask you too, because I keep feeling this too. Do you understand this? Because I keep seeing this, that so just with this neighbor that passed, this was something that was very concealed, right? He didn't really tell people that you didn't know that he was even like depressed or anything like that, right?
No, it was a total shock.
Mhm. And he's given me the feeling too, just when I'm connecting with him, that I feel like this was, and I've had this happen before with people with suicide. Well, they bring this up and stuff, but I was getting a feeling that this was a very impulsive thing. I feel like this is not something that he was, like planning for a while or anything like this. I feel like it was an impulsive thing. I do get a sense that he is, he's just in the beginning of transitioning. So he might not be, a full connection yet. But I feel like he's kind of around and stuff like this. He's given me a feeling that he had a fondness for you. And he did care about you. And he's saying that you were important to him and stuff. Now, I want to also ask you this too, because I'm getting a feeling about this. Do you know who Michael is, or why I'm hearing Michael? And also, do you have a brother-in-law passed?
Yes, to both.
Okay. Who's Michael?
Michael is my cousin that passed away a long time ago.
Okay. And what about I want to ask you this too. What about a dog that I'm feeling that would be coming through, that would be telling me that you did absolutely everything in your potential to help this dog? I feel like it had a lot of health problems, and you were really very much trying to help this dog so much. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, positively, yes. I was hoping to hear from her.
Right. And she is saying, as I'm connecting with her, she is just saying that she was so connected to you guys. And she's saying that she just had a very, very strong, strong energy. And I feel like when I'm connecting with her, beautiful energy with her, I feel like. And I feel like also, hold on one second. Do you know Mark or Marcus or anybody with that name? Because I just heard that name now.
Not on the other side.
Do you know that
On-
here?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay. How do you connect to that with here?
He's a cousin.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you this also. If your dad is telling me that he's watching over Mary, who's Mary?
One of my sisters.
And is she having any sort of issues with her legs?
With her legs? No.
I also want to ask you, do you have a sleep disorder at all? Or do you notice that you don't sleep as well as you used to, or you sleep but you're still tired or anything like that?
Absolutely, positively. I don't have a sleep disorder. I've been tested, but I do have terrible fatigue.
Okay. And so it just is one of those things that kind of creeps up on you, or like you'll kind of like get zapped or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, what I want to tell you with that is, and you're saying you already went and got tested for a sleep disorder?
Yeah, and I don't have sleep apnea.
Yeah, no, you don't. See, what happens is when, because I have that actually too, and when you are, because there's people, everybody has a degree of empath, you have a very heightened empath, so you're very empathic. So what happens is you can literally get zapped by people's energy. You can literally pick up people's energy. You can literally get drained by people's energy. And that can definitely happen. So I feel like that is what you're dealing with. And I feel like that's what's going on. And I think what's happening is you are, and it could be from anything. It could be from people you're, it could be from people that you are, around you, could be about friends, it just really depends. But you definitely have that. So it is something that spirit feels like, you do need to be aware of this a little bit.
Could it be why I'm so good with animals?
Well, empaths typically are very connected to animals. It's just an empath. Like if you were to even read a book about empaths, it's one of the number one things is that they're connected to animals, especially if you're one of those people that you much prefer animals to people. You know what I'm saying? If you're one of those people, then that's almost a sure sign that you're an empath. Like I said, it's almost like, everybody has musical ability, but to a certain, you have to call it, you're not everybody's a musician though, so a lot of people have artistic ability, not everybody's an artist. So you have an empath ability and you're an empath. So yours is so heightened so that's why I think you pick up the sleep stuff, or that's why that happens. So you just have to be really mindful about recharging your energy. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that, some of the basic things are super important. Hydration, taking care of your body. All those things are important as an empath and stuff. So I think, like I said, I think overall you're fine. But it's just something to be aware of. You asked about retirement?
Yeah.
Are you looking to retire in the next 2 years?
Yeah.
There may even be something where there's like something that comes that would be, first off, this is what they're telling me. They're saying that you're going to know when you're supposed to retire. There's going to be a clear thing. I feel like you're going to get some sort of package, some sort of request, some sort of thing. That's what's going to happen. So that will definitely happen. I just feel like spirit, maybe it's not there totally yet.
Okay.
But I see you going in the next couple of years. Yeah. Let's go back to the thing with your mom. So just with your mom, what are you like with her? What are you sort of noticing with her? You're just noticing sort of like, so she's obviously, she's elderly, and you're just noticing that she is acting weird, like it's like in the last few months you've noticed that she's acting different.
Well, she's been staying with my sister more, and she's getting more and more agitated at my sister's behavior and less tolerant. And so I told her, instead of telling my sister things or worrying about how long my sister's away from the house, I told her to call me and vent to me to
Okay.
keep it calmer over there, because I tend to be a calmer person and not fly off the handle. So I said, call me instead. And she's now calling about all kinds of different things that are just not going to change. And so I'm trying to think of what I can do to help her not be unhappy over there.
Yeah.
You know, and how that's going to work.
Yeah. And this is what they're telling me with love. I feel like she has a very, 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 very early beginning little bit of Alzheimer's, or not Alzheimer's, dementia. And so there's just a little bit of, and it's not even to the point where she's getting confused or anything like that, maybe, but it's just beginning a little bit. You know, their spirit is saying that they know that this is kind of on your mind a lot. They know that you are stressed about this. They know that this is bothering you. You, again, you're an empath, so you are, you know, it's like you're the one that is dealing with this and stuff, and it's probably just weighing on you. I feel like I see this getting to a place of more balance. So I feel like it's going to it's going to get to a place of balance and things. And I feel like they're saying just continuing to be open to that, but also have, setting boundaries is okay. And I feel like they're even saying it's okay for you to, set boundaries too. Not in a mean way, but maybe saying, okay, Mom, I've only got like 5 minutes or something like that, they're saying that could be a positive thing. Okay, we're going to go on to our next person. Thanks so much, Gloria. And then again, we'll keep the chat open if there's something that you want to ask about. Let's go to Jewel. You got to unmute yourself, Jewel.
Hello.
Hello.
It's great to see you, Thomas.
Yes, what can I help you with?
I have a few questions. One, work will be a big one, and then relationship if anything comes up. And I'm also curious if you're open to sharing about politics, because it's been weighing on me a lot. And so it makes me anxious, and because I care so deeply, but I don't want to focus so much on that one. That's not my priority. The priority more is work.
Okay.
I have lived in Silicon Valley for the last 10 years, and I've unfortunately had many job losses for various reasons, most recently due to COVID. And it's weighing on me because the times are difficult in finding a new role. And I also, I've been a healer throughout like my adult life, but I don't really focus on that a lot. And I've been kind of nudged towards it lately, more creating something like, being able to help people that way, but I don't know if I could financially support myself with that. So I'm not trying to like lean there, but I would love some clarity about it and maybe some reassurance about getting a job. I interview a lot and I get a lot of rejection. And because of the pandemic, my family's in Michigan and I'm very isolated here. And so it's like been depressing in a lot of ways as well, just all tied in. So I try to keep positive about work but there's just like so many things that hit all at the same time.
Right.
And then it seems like, for my relationship question is, I always thought that would happen, but that also comes up in my face a lot now because I'm so alone. And it's just, I feel like almost like I don't belong here. Like I shouldn't be on this planet, anymore, but I don't want to leave. Like I wouldn't purposely leave, but I don't know. It's just been challenging for me over like the last, for sure since COVID, but for the last couple of years.
So the first thing that I'm getting really, really strongly is that it's kind of interesting, the positioning, because you were kind of, kind of goes with some of the things we were talking about with her. So let me kind of focus here. So first off, job. They're talking about how you've had a lot of success with your job. You've actually done, you're very well liked when you start these jobs. It looks like you had a job loss about 2 or 3 years ago that kind of started to catalyze all this. Does that make sense to you? Because they're telling me that you had a job actually for a few years that you really liked a lot. Is that right?
I loved it. I worked at LinkedIn, and I was really happy. And the head of product, he left to start a startup and brought me with him, and that didn't succeed. So that created a whole chain of events that have not been good ever since.
Right, because they're telling me that that's kind of where that's kind of where there's sort of like not I want to say like a negative energy, but I kind of feel like that's where things began. Now, they're telling me that you still are open to going back to LinkedIn. Is that right? Or have you thought about going back there?
Yeah, I would love to. They've had layoffs more than anything. Like I even interviewed for a couple roles, and it just hasn't panned out. But I would love to go back if it was
Right.
possible.
So I would say that what they're telling me is that there is going to be some opportunities there, but it feels like right now, that there's not, there's maybe not an opportunity right now. But I feel like they're saying that keep your eyes open there. There's actually a lot of positive energy there. There's actually a lot of people there that really respect you, like you. So I feel like there's some good energy there. Keep looking, they're actually saying this, keep looking for things there, because I'm actually sensing that something's coming up. Or so just, you might want to pay attention to that, okay?
Thank you.
We'll go more into that and things like that. Now, they're also talking about, as I'm connecting with this, there's this is what I feel is going to happen. I actually feel like you're going to get a job in the next couple months. Well, I'll get more specific about that. Then I think eventually that's going to lead you to another job, and with LinkedIn. So it's almost like there's 2 jobs ahead of you.
Okay.
And one is just to kind of get you, get you moving forward. And then the other one is to the LinkedIn one. It might not make sense to you yet because it hasn't happened, but it still feels like they're saying about going back to LinkedIn.
Understand.
So I would say though that I'm feeling that there's going to be something before that, just to kind of get the ball rolling, some sort of opportunity or something. I was feeling something with that. So, Do you still have a very, very strong contact at LinkedIn? Is there something at LinkedIn where I don't know, do you have a very strong?
I have a couple. I have like one for sure in Omaha, which is where one of the offices is, but that's not where I want to live if I don't have to. I'm in California, and I have some friends in California that still work there, and we're really connected and keep in touch. So.
Okay. So yeah, they're saying that there's some energy that's happening there. It's not, they're saying that this is not a not a dead thing. There's an energy there. So
Good.
Yeah. Relationship, they're telling me, has been very hard for you. And they're telling me that you've wanted to really open up the energy there and really have a stronger, connection with that. And it feels like it just hasn't happened yet. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I've had just things similar to work where like I give everything to it and really loving, and I know nobody's the wrong person. I mean, they come to your life for a reason, but it just hasn't been the most ideal matches, and that's, like some sad stories, but it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, so it looks like one of the things that's happening is there's a lot of spiritual transformations that are happening. Everything that's going on in the world right now is not for coincidence. You know, there's a lot of transformations that are happening. And so one thing I feel like is happening is there's some doors that are going to be opening for you with this. I feel like people are really going through some changes and stuff. So I actually do see a partner that's coming in for you. And I actually feel like there's somebody that, but I don't actually feel like you've met this person. But I feel like there is a partner that's coming through for you. This is somebody that they're telling me is a true partner. You know, this is somebody who is really is a partner. This is somebody that there's, this is not like a maybe a sort of a kind of, I mean, this is a true partner. This is somebody that you could really connect to. This is somebody that there's a very strong connection with this person. But I don't feel right now that they're telling me that I don't feel like you've met this person yet. But I do feel there's a partner that's coming for you. I see the letter M. I keep seeing the letter M. I feel like this person, like I said, when I'm connecting with this person, they're not somebody that you know yet. But like I said, I feel like they have a lot of significance to you. This is somebody, and it feels like it's somebody that is local to you. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like it's somebody that is, it feels somebody that is like local to you. I feel like they're saying, don't look out there, look within, look nearby, keep your eyes open with things like that. Can I ask you, do you work in the marketing, like you said about working at LinkedIn, but like, do you work more on the marketing side of things?
I work more like in customer success and client management, relationship management.
Okay. Yeah, so you could maybe work in like a marketing department or
Oh
something.
yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of marketing background, but mainly it's people.
Okay. As far as the healing stuff, I actually do feel like that is something that you should, by the way, do you have an uncle in spirit?
I do.
Okay.
I have a few.
You have a few ones. Okay. Do you have a George?
No. Not that, well, I might, but not that I'm close
What
to.
about
No.
Michael?
Not that I'm close to
Okay.
or no.
And do you have an uncle that was found deceased in his
Yes.
apartment?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And was he somebody like, were you close to him or no?
He lived far apart, but our hearts are so close.
Okay. What about, as I'm hearing this, what about Bill?
Not a Bill.
Bill or William?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And do you have a cousin that they would tell me you really weren't close to her, but she died of cancer?
Very possibly. Like, any clues about names or anything?
Well, like I said, she wasn't really close to you. It's weird. Like you and her really weren't close.
I think because several have in my family, but I think I'm feeling it. Does Lisa maybe?
Okay.
Have the name?
And just to clarify, you weren't really close to her though?
Not close. Like, I mean, not close on an everyday type basis, but you know, familiar with each other.
Okay. And they also are bringing up Robert.
That's my dad who's living.
Okay. And is there anything where I would be getting also that you have started to think about starting your own business or anything? Are you thinking about doing that?
That's the healing thing. Like, I made it like an angel insights type thing because I'm intuitive. I help people. I think my purpose in life, I know my purpose in life is to help people. And my friends call me the earth angel. They come to me for insight. Excuse me. People at work come to me. So everybody's been pushing me more to do it. A friend that I have that's psychic said that I should like do the psychic hotline because people, at least I would be giving them real information and guidance. And so I have the like idea and the format for it, but I haven't pushed myself over the edge with it because I don't know why I'm hesitating, and maybe because I need a real job to support me financially, but I'm like torn, and help people is my purpose in life, not necessarily as my job.
Yeah. Well, you also have the empath thing too, so you probably, and I do feel like yours is a little bit more, yours is a little bit more connected in that angelic realm. So that's probably why Spirit is saying that now is a good time to at least start to explore that. They are saying that you don't need permission to do that. You don't need, they're saying basically like, you can do this, you are able, you can definitely do this. And so I feel like more, it almost feels like before they're showing me that you've kind of been tried to kind of not hold yourself back, but they're saying that you've a little bit held yourself back in the past, and they're saying that you've kind of like, it's almost like you've held your light back to kind of maybe, to kind of help other people not be, that's what they're saying. But now they're saying that you are, you're in a really good path in terms of just, I think that, you're supposed to, feel like they're saying that you're supposed to go on that path and things like that. So I definitely feel like you need to do more with it. Now, is it something that I see being a full-time, you support yourself exclusively from that situation? No, I don't see that. But do I see something where that could be something that you could finally take some energy into building? Definitely. I feel like there is some energy for that for sure. So yeah, it seems like you're on the, it feels like you're on the right path with that. And it feels like you're, it feels like they're telling me that you are supposed to do that.
Okay. Thank you. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, good. We've got some more time with yours. What else do you want to kind of go back to that was, you had said there was some
like
different
politics. I was, I'm so stressed about our country, and I because I'm so empathic, I pick up on everything, and it just weighs on me, and justice, and things like that. So I'd love to hear it.
And what about, and we'll wrap, we'll do that. What else do you want to hear about with the job thing? Anything more with that?
I'm interviewing, I'm in the process of interviewing right now for one that feels good to me, but in this area, you have to do a lot of go through a lot of hoops. And so right now I'm working on a presentation that I have to submit to get to the next step. And it just feels like a good job to me, but I don't know if you have a sense on it. It's a math tutoring kind of service.
Oh, I love the energy there. What I asked Spirit is if they could just tell me when you're going to have a job. Because I felt like for them to if they could just say, hey, you know what, by this time you're going to have a job, I felt like that would help you.
It would so much.
Yeah. And what they said is that by October 1st, you'll be in your new job. So if you can get, and like I said, this job that I see you going into, it's a great job. I still, for some reason, get a very strong vision of you returning to LinkedIn. So that's what I'm seeing as far as that goes. Politics. I will answer that, and I'm going to do a very thorough job of that. But you know what we're going to do? That'll be a good thing to end on, Jewel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Jerry's, and she's next, and then I will answer the politic question because I have some good insights for you with that, and that might be helpful or interesting at least for everybody. So let me go to Jerry.
Mute.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What can I do for you?
Okay, I have two things. One of them is I have so many relatives and friends that have passed. I'm hoping that someone will come through to speak to me or use me to give messages to others. And then I was wondering if any angels have anything to say about my grandson.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so first off, I want to tell you that I don't know why just yet, because I haven't tuned into the energy just yet. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just I just noticed my computer's a little low on power, so hold on one second. Now, Jerry, just take me to one thing. That person with the suicide, we don't know for sure, but that might be somebody that you knew?
Yes.
Okay. And is that somebody that you were close to? Like, did you have a close relationship with him or no?
Very much so.
Okay. And what about fast cars or motorcycles or anything like that?
He was very much into both.
Okay. And do you know, because I keep hearing this person, Bill, William.
Yep, that's my dad.
Living and past.
My dad passes a William and my brother is a William.
Okay. Now, I also was feeling somebody coming through that passed in some sort of accident. Because I'm going to go back to both the person that died by suicide, and I'm going to go back to the other person too. But I just want to ask you, do you have anybody that passed in, I don't really know what their relationship is, but they passed in like an accident. And I got a feeling that they're more like a friend of yours, like not really family. And I got not an accident like a car accident, but I felt like they fell or something and then they died.
Well, it's possible my friend Louise might have fell in a nursing home and then related to that she died.
Okay. And was she a good friend?
Very good friend.
And is this relatively recently or you don't, or you know?
No, this was probably about 8-10 years ago.
Okay. Now I want to also ask you, just because I'm feeling this, what about somebody that I'm feeling coming through, actually not somebody, a dog. So as somebody in terms of an animal, have you lost a dog?
Well, we lost a dog about 13 years ago.
Okay. And were you close to, were you close to the dog?
Very much so.
Okay. And also, can I ask you too, do you have anybody that lived, because they're showing me this, anybody that lived by a lake, or I keep seeing like they lived on the water, I see.
I do have lived by the water. Who? Well, I do. Yes, I do have my my brother-in-law. They live by the water.
Okay.
I mean, like a mile away from the water.
Okay. And can I ask you this, because I'm seeing this also, did your dad, did he have dogs?
Yes.
Okay. And so he would sometimes, he did have dogs or spend time with dogs or things like that?
He had dogs, but he was not nice to the dogs.
Oh, so he wasn't really close to the dogs?
Absolutely not.
Okay, but he had dogs at some point?
Yes.
Okay. And for some reason also, I just was getting a feeling about this. I felt like, hold on one second. I felt like, I feel a mother energy here that it feels like you were very close to. So were you really close to your mom?
Yes.
Okay. And would I get a feeling that you took care of her at the end, or something where she's telling me that she says that you took care of her at the end? I don't know. Did you take care of her at the end?
I did. She had hospice.
And was she kind of shorter with curly hair?
Yes.
Okay. And also, I want to ask you this because I keep feeling about this. Why am I seeing August 5th?
This is wedding. Oh, that was my daughter's wedding. That was married to my son-in-law who committed suicide.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's your son-in-law that passed?
Yes.
Okay. And can I ask you, because I was kind of feeling this with him, was it something where, like, I feel like he's giving me the feeling that you guys kind of knew that he was dealing with some stuff, but it wasn't to the point where you thought that he was like, I don't feel like he talked about suicide a lot. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. He had MS and he was struggling with the MS.
Okay. And I want to ask you also, because I'm feeling this, there's a lady coming through that I'm picking up that had heart issues. I don't know how she's connected to you, but I feel like she did have heart problems. And I don't know, does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you at all? Oh, there's another lady here too that's telling me she was very, very sick and she knows you from Revis.
Oh, from Revis from high school?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
And also, I'm just hearing about this. Did somebody die in their sister-in-law's house?
Die in their sister-in-law.
I think I'm going back to the suicide person or something. Like, did he die in somebody else's house or something?
Wendy could be like a sister.
You know what? My son-in-law was staying with my niece at the time in a different state when he committed suicide.
Oh, okay. And also, your mom keeps talking about this. She keeps bringing this up. Do you ever wear her cross, or do you have her cross?
My niece, who we just talked about, has her cross. I have her ring.
Okay. Do you have her, like, is it like a gold ring?
Yes.
Yeah. And she's also telling me too that you guys had conversations about, she says that you guys had conversations about, like, did you know, so you knew she was going to pass, right? I mean, she was sick and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, because I felt like it's weird. She's talking about something where she, something where you knew she was sick. And she's telling me that you, can I ask you, because I'm feeling this, like, I feel like family was a big thing for her, and she's telling me that you do a lot of the family stuff. I don't know. Do you do that?
I do. And what you were just saying about knowing that she was going to pass, I had every family member speak to her alone just to tell them how much they love her.
Okay, got you. Yeah, and I want to say also too, she's giving me the feeling also when I connect her, she keeps talking about how family though is very important. So you understand that, right? Like her family was a big thing for her, right?
Very much so.
Okay. Now I'm getting another feeling as I'm connecting you, so you understand that and stuff. Do you know Robert in spirit that I would be hearing from? Somebody named Robert that died? Kind of like, it doesn't really feel like a close connection, but I do feel like they're coming through. So,
well, I do know a Robert that passed away who was a neighbor.
Okay. And I want to also ask you too, because I keep hearing about this. What about, do you know Dennis?
I do know a Dennis is alive.
Who is that?
A good friend of ours.
Okay. Is there anybody in spirit that died that I would be seeing that played a lot of cards or cards and things? Oh no, cards. Sorry, cards.
My whole family. I mean, my father was big on cards. All his friends, my uncles.
Okay, so I'm probably seeing that. And I also want to ask you too, because I'm feeling this. Do you have anybody that would be coming through that had a white house or I don't know, I keep seeing that. But do you have anything with a white house or it's like somebody had a white house?
My neighbor had a white house, my neighbor when I was younger. Next door.
And do you have anybody that would be coming through that's actually speaking Spanish?
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, that would be my son-in-law who passed away or his mother.
Okay. And are you helping Dawn? Who's Dawn?
Dawn is my daughter. Am I helping her? Yeah, I try to help her as much as I can. I pretty much have been for the last 20 years.
Okay. Now I want to ask you, because I'm feeling this. With your grandson, what you asked about him, you didn't really say anything, you just said, oh, maybe my grandson or something. So I just want to go back to this a little bit. With how the one you were asking about, what is his first name?
Nicholas.
Okay. And how old is he?
He is 15, going to be 16.
Okay.
In 2 months.
And so with him, you're just kind of wanting to know, like, kind of what path he's on or something?
Yes.
Okay. And he's not connected really to the person that passed by suicide, right?
He is the nephew, and they were extremely close.
Oh, they were close. Okay. But it's not his son.
No, but pretty much his son, because his dad really isn't in his life too much.
Got you. Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out, because it was weird. I didn't feel like he had a son, but then I felt like he kept talking about a son. And then I also felt like you were talking about, something with so yeah, I don't know. I felt both and stuff. So yeah. So is this partly what you're asking about? Is this partly what you're asking about related to this? You're just asking overall kind of what path he's on?
Yes, overall, because he really doesn't have a father image right now since my son-in-law passed away, and I just want to make sure he's on the right path.
Yeah. I feel like he is. I feel like he has, excuse me, a beautiful spirit to him. I feel like he has a beautiful energy to him and stuff. And I feel like, yes, he is on the right path with things. And I actually see him, why would I see him going into sort of a creative way? They keep talking about this, but is he wanting to go into a creative direction or something?
Sports, if that's creative.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was okay.
Or construction.
What'd you say, honey?
Construction.
No.
Building things.
Yeah. Now, the other thing they're showing me, I just want to tell you also, is there things that I would be feeling, because it feels like they're showing me this, but I want to ask you this also. Do you know Bernice?
Oh my God, that's my godmother.
Okay. And was she like a big part of your life?
Big part.
Okay. And I feel like she's hanging with your mom. So were they close?
They were sisters.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I felt like feels like there's a strong connection with them and stuff. And they are telling me that they're actually giving you, and they are doing this, they're saying that they're giving you support and really helping you and things like that. Also, were you close to your cousin Leo?
Leo was actually my cousin's husband. And no, I wasn't close to him.
Okay. Is he passed though?
He is.
Okay. And I want to also ask you another thing that I'm feeling. There's another person here that's coming through. Who would I be seeing with the sewing machine and the tailoring, or liking to do the sewing? And I'm also hearing the name Sophie.
Well, my grandmother was Sophie. I don't know if she sewed. I don't recall her doing so.
Okay. And you don't know if there would have been you don't know if there would have been if there would have been anything, you don't know if she even had like a sewing machine or something like that?
No, I do not. Now, there might have been my husband's side, his grandmother might have sewn.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but I heard the name Sophie, so she's probably coming through too. And like I said, that one of the things that I'm feeling is they're definitely bringing a lot of support to you. I feel like they're bringing, they're wanting to, they're wanting to support you and help you. They're saying that you are very stressed about a lot of things right now. But again, I don't feel anything negative. I just feel like there's a lot of things going on and things like that. I feel like you're trying to do a lot of keeping the family together and, things like that. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I feel like they are telling.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So, yeah. Also too, I keep feeling this. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on one second. Hold on. So is there a lot of mystery around, is there a lot of mystery around the passing? I don't know, I keep feeling about that, but is there a lot of mystery around your son-in-law's passing?
What do you mean by mystery?
Like, is there still a lot of aspects that you guys haven't come to terms with in terms of really what was going through his mind?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's taking me back to, I feel like he's taking me back to this image in my mind of, oh, and also, can I just ask you, do you know B?
What's the name?
Do you know B?
B-E-E or B-E-A?
Yeah, well, I'm just hearing B, but like, do you know?
That would be my Aunt B, Bernice.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, and she was almost like a second mom to you, or she was somebody.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And was she super funny? Like, I felt like she was very funny.
She was very funny.
Yeah. That's what I'm feeling. That she kind of was like, not like in a mean way, but almost like sarcastic, or she like, yeah, she's funny, right?
Yeah, she is funny.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling her and stuff. Yeah, so I think that there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of positive energy and stuff with them. So I think the main thing that I'm feeling is they're, I feel like I feel like all these people in the spirit world are wanting to, just help you. They're saying that a big part of your life is that you're trying to keep the family together, keep everything organized and keep people together and stuff. And they're saying that that's really, they keep saying that was, they keep saying that was really important and stuff like that. So, okay, good. Let's kind of go, we're going to finish up with a couple of questions here. So, let's me go to this person. Gonza says, I asked about my shaman question before. May I ask one medium question about my missing brother, that is he died or alive now? I'm feeling that that person feels like they're in the spirit world. I'm not really getting a lot with them, but it feels like they're in the spirit world. That's more what I'm feeling. I don't get a feeling of them being alive. I feel like they're in the spirit world. So yeah, it feels like almost like a very sudden passing. And I'm also being told from spirit that there is some record of it. So I feel like if you looked into it, you would probably get more information about it, because I feel like there is some documentedness of it. Let me just see. Julia said, would love to know if my partner from the future was asking when I was muted. Yeah, I feel like you will. I just feel like you need to kind of get through this very difficult time that you're going through, but I definitely feel like you will have a partner. Spirit's saying that you've had them before and you'll have them again. You're just kind of going through a recalibration in your life. That's what I feel. Now, let's go back to the political question, which was asked about. So I just want to tell you guys, when I ever ask political things, because I wouldn't be doing my job if I was sort of focusing on my feelings or my beliefs or what I believe in the world or things like that. I don't think that that's not psychic. That's my opinions, and I don't get paid for my opinions. I get paid for my visions and my psychic abilities. So I always say that, you know, that has nothing to do with what I believe in. And, you know, and full disclosure, I'm actually a registered independent. So I've voted Republican and Democrat before. So as far as what I see happening in the future with our political, first off, there's a great amount of change that's happening in that system. There's an exposure that's happening. All the corruption is leaving. You know how they say sometimes things get worse before it gets better? So there's a lot of corruption that's leaving. So the corruption in the media, the corruption in the political sphere, the corruption in the medical world, all this is going to be starting to get exposed. It's already started. It's going to continue for the next 10 years, okay? The thing is politicians don't really run the country. You know, all of these people, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Donald Trump, Mike Pence, they don't run the country. The country is basically run by people with a lot of money. And so there are, you know, the billionaires are the ones that are really the lobbyists, the big companies, the corporates. We're basically our country is run by, you know, corporations basically. And they're the ones that pull and really make all these decisions and stuff. And then it's trickled down into the political things, and they might shift and change and sort of try to protect us. But ultimately, those people, so, you know, in order for anything to really change in the world, in our America, there needs to be a change with that. As far as, you know, political in terms of who might be in office, I do feel a great amount of change that's happening in November. Now, what I've always felt about Trump is that he would do one term, he would do a second term, but he wouldn't do a whole second term. So I'm going to stick with that. I will say that I have felt this very distinct change that's happened in about the last 6 weeks, where I do feel that the energy has shifted away from him, where I feel like the energy was very strongly around him before. I feel that, so that's the only thing that I'm feeling that possibly made me feel that maybe my prediction is shifting. And, you know, the thing that I would tell you is whether you're, you know, a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, a Green Party, whatever you are, that spiritual activism is really the way that you have to go. We all need to be activists. Now, that does not mean that we all have to go out with signs and stand outside, you know. What I'm saying is we all have to start taking action. And as long as we do that through, I think, a humane way where we respect everybody and things like that, and we show kindness to everybody, and we, you know, we realize that, you know, everybody of every color, race, you know, gender, you know, sexuality, sexual preference has protections, then I think we can really do what. So my sense is that I think what we're going to see is, and we're already starting to see this, is more of a grassroots approach to political things, where we're going to start to see that, which is good, that politicians are going to really have, because it used to be that politicians could do whatever they wanted, you know, and it was kind of like the people were not the focus. It wasn't always like that, but it's been like that the last 20, 30 years. So, well, definitely the last 20, I would say 30 though. I would say 30 actually. So what I'm saying is we have to shift to focus where what the people want is what happens, and we vote these people in for that. And I see there being more accountability and stuff. Now, again, we might not have this all right away, you know, but that's what I've been seeing with that. So, okay, guys, well, you have a wonderful evening. We did finish all the readings, so thanks so much, guys, for being here. And I wish you the best, and have a great day. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Wear your mask. I guess I think they do help actually. I mean, psychically, I feel like, you know, because there's all sorts of things in the media that are not true. So, but I really feel like the masks do help and things. And so, you know, let's get through this together. And you guys take care, and we'll talk again sometime. Take care.